Ingles Market's iHeart Citizen Times so Manna Food Bank can fill empty plates this holiday season.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
Hey, you got 10 minutes? Then you've got time for the new podcast, 10 Takes with Kyle Brandt. Every Monday, I give you 10 takes from the NFL, from the universe, and I give them to you in just 10 minutes. I'm telling you, you may just have the best time you've ever had listening to a podcast. It could be a crazy play I'm talking about. It could be how I hate child car seats and I don't know how to install them. You just never know. Listen to 10 Takes on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the 4th annual Ugly Sweater Run 5K and 10K presented by Hunter Subaru. Saturday, December the 2nd at the Riveter in Asheville. Runners and walkers don their most outrageously festive and tacky outfits, making this the most festive race of the year. Whether you're a seasoned runner or just looking for some holiday fun, the Ugly Sweater Run is the perfect way to celebrate the season, spread joy, and create lasting memories. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by 97.7 The Brew, Asheville's Christmas station.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raided. It's football time in America. And this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat for a Power Rankings Tuesday. Monday Night Football last night. Oh boy, wasn't that fun?
I wouldn't know. I fell asleep.
And then we all have great fun with that 12-10 barn burner.
You know a game's bad when I fall asleep in the middle of it, especially when I bet on it. And I still fell asleep. I woke up and Scott Van Pelt was talking, and I went, hey, I won. Good for me. I also didn't have to watch that, so I won twice.
Yes. The Chicago Bears getting a win over the Minnesota Vikings. 12-10. Josh Dobbs.
That was fun.
Are we done with this?
That was fun. Hey, you remember that thing I said of Josh Dobbs works for about 2 weeks?
Yep.
And then people get tape on him, and it doesn't work anymore?
Yep.
Last night was proof positive of that. It's a bad sign when Kevin O'Connell, after the game, had to say, I don't really know what we're going to do at quarterback moving forward.
No, we're exploring all options.
I mean, and the third win is that we don't have to hear the pastronaut ever again.
4 interceptions last night for Joshua Dobbs.
And he could have had more than that. Chicago dropped 2 more. Just outright hit you in the numbers. Dropped 2 more.
During the game, or after the game, I guess, Kevin O'Connell said during the game he was thinking about pulling the trigger on Nick Mullins. I'm pretty sure that's going to be your starter next week. He did mention that Jaron Hall is back off the concussion protocol, so he's available for Minnesota as well.
It would have been fun if he had just said, hey, we're going to play somebody. Don't know which one.
Open tryouts. Let's go.
Is there really any difference between the 3? Not really.
Y'all come on down to the stadium on Wednesday. We're going to have us an open tryout. See who could play quarterback for this year team.
My biggest takeaway, from last night, and I don't know that it's even deniable at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The home teams in the NFC playoffs are not going to be threatened very much, except whoever wins the NFC South, who's going to get annihilated. Your reward for winning your division is the Dallas Cowboys,
Yay!
And they will beat you brainless. As of right now, the Detroit Lions would get the Seattle Seahawks, who I feel like they owe you one.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not going to go your
Already
way.
beat you once.
And the San Francisco 49ers would get that fun big ball of crap that we saw last night. Woo! Other teams in the hunt, I'm not making this up, and this is the order that they're listed in. The Green Bay Packers, the Los Angeles Rams, and the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
You might as well just have buys for the first round of the playoffs.
No doubt.
But here we are. These are the rules that we've all agreed to, and you'll find out when we do the power rankings in the next hour and the third hour of the program. There are about 11, to me, teams worth talking about in the NFL. The rest of them are not good.
It depends on what you mean by worth talking about.
Well, I mean, as far as prospects for the rest of this season.
Depends on what you mean by prospects for the rest of the season. If you're talking about can win a Super Bowl, that was a weird way of saying 4.
No. I'm talking about teams that could actually give us something to talk about for a couple of weeks into the playoffs. That
I'm still
really?
I'm going with 4, Bob.
No, stop that.
I did the power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I know who my 8 team is,
Mm-hmm.
and without giving anything away, one side of the ball for that team is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. You're still a top 8 team to me. That's how bad the mid-tier, the meaty clackers, and if you're in the first 8, your team is so bad that we're going to shoot through this a minute at a team.
The bad has never been worse, I don't think.
No, Tom Brady's
in the
right,
NFL.
and I hate admitting that. He is 100% right. The bad teams in this league, and I got news for you. You saw 2 of them last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Chicago Bears are we're going to talk about them in the next segment because I'm looking into my crystal ball here going, I feel like I've read this book before. I feel like you're living by the New York Jets playbook, and you're not going to like the way this ends.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of which, if you're a New York Jets fan, we will have a new shirt in our merch store.
He's so excited.
And
it's very cool, let me say.
It's the best thing I've ever – it's merch-wise, it's the best thing I've ever done. It is an homage to 40 years of suckitude, and it brings it all together.
It's beautiful.
And I credit Patrick Holt for that. He told me I needed to make a Hail Mary shirt. And when he said that, I went, well, I could do that, or I could just add Hail Mary onto a concept I already had and throw that on the back.
Yep.
And that's what I did.
Yep. Every Jet fan is going to need one of these shirts.
If we don't sell 10,000 of these, I'm going to be really, really sad.
It is that good.
I've shown it to 4 of my Jet fan friends, and they all immediately said, I'm going to need a green one and I'm going to need a black one because the black one is really cool.
You may have found your next spin-off business here.
Well, here's the thing. I could do the same thing for a bunch of teams, including the 2 that played last night.
Because they are absolutely terrible. Minnesota Vikings are, well, I mean, they are what they are, right? I mean, we thought coming into the year, they're, I didn't think they would be absolutely terrible. You thought they would be absolutely terrible.
They have done nothing all year except really confirm what I thought. And the thing I can't figure out is how are you better without Justin Jefferson? I don't get that.
Are they better without him?
Record-wise,
the
yes.
record says that they are, but you're not.
You played the easier part of your schedule and were awful. Then you played the tougher part of your schedule and were good, and then the league figured out the Pasternaut. I mean, look, this team's not good, but there's still a great chance they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know that you want to.
No. I mean, I think you do. Everybody wants to make the playoffs.
Do you, though?
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling me right now that you're going to fit. There's only one team in that list that I listed off earlier. One of you's going to be the 7th seed because nobody else is even competitive for it. Your Tampa Bay Bucks are 10, and they're 2 full games and lose the tiebreaker to everybody.
Yep.
Out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Only way you're making it is winning the division.
Right.
But do you want to be that last team? Does that make you feel good? This is a question I've had for NFL fans forever, is you do get that that's like the worst place to be. Hey, we just snuck into the playoffs. We were no threat to anybody. Every team was actively hoping that it fell to where we get them. Mm-hmm. You get annihilated in one playoff game, New York Giants last year. Yes, I know they won one. It's because they played the Vikings, who also weren't very good. But then you just roll everything over. Because then you look at the coach and went, well, he made the playoffs. We can't fire him. Look at New Orleans. If they make the playoffs, does Dennis Allen get canned? I'll say no. And he should.
Probably not, but he should.
Minnesota Vikings. Are you going to make big sweeping changes if you make the playoffs? Probably not. The only team I look at and go, the only team in that whole list that I look at and go, you really want to make the playoffs is the Los Angeles Rams. Because you have nothing to lose. You got one of the youngest rosters in the league. By the way, we didn't talk about this yesterday because this game was completely irrelevant. Kyron Williams is a D-O-double-G dog.
Is Minnesota one of those teams, though? Did they have anything to gain by missing the playoffs?
Draft position. And, yes, it matters, especially in this class. I cannot emphasize that enough. I am a lifelong New York Jet fan, and I am adopting the Al Davis just lose, baby. Mm-hmm. I don't want to win another game. I will pick against the Jets every week.
Right.
Because I want Joe Alt or Roma Dunza or Keon Coleman or one of these franchise guys. Yeah. Yes, you do have something to gain. Yeah. You have nothing to gain from going to the playoffs and getting slaughtered. There's always been this thought that benefits you in some way. It really doesn't. Now, if you can make a run, you can win a playoff game. You can have 2 weeks where you have to prepare and all of those things. That's beneficial.
We snuck in. We won in last week when we played a team that was 3-14. We made the playoffs.
Hang the banner. Move on.
Mm-hmm. But Minnesota doesn't strike me as a team that should be in the tanking mode. Right now.
It's not a tanking mode. That's not really what I'm saying here. Minnesota will win a couple of these games just because they showed up and put their pants on the right way. A lot of people thought that was last night. I didn't. Thank you, Chicago. I made just a boatload off of you. I don't know why I was so confident about that game, but I really was. Mm-hmm. Chicago's defense is fine, but it was the third game of Josh Dobbs, and it was incredibly predictable.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of, is Minnesota in a tanking mode? No. The thing is, you have biggest problems. Minnesota's got that defense. I've tried to tell all of you this for weeks now, of your box score watching, you're not film watching. I'm film watching, and I'm seeing things in Minnesota that would scare the heeber-jeebers out of me.
Like what?
The things you have to do to get home, you really only have one player that jumps off screen to me when I watch that defense, and it's an undrafted free agent rookie who our buddy Sideline Scout, it seems like every week he posts something about, how did Ivan Pace go undrafted? Yeah. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea how he went undrafted. But you have big problems. And what I have found over the years is when you get a team like this that overachieves, they think they're further down the line than they are, and you seem to regress. Look at the New York Giants. The Giants thought they were further along. Oh, God, we've got to pay Daniel Jones because he got us to the playoffs. Look where you're at now. The roster is damn near the exact same thing you took to the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. You know what you lost? that horseshoe that had been lodged just so securely in your tuchus. Well, as soon as that fell out, everybody just looks around and goes, "Oh, you're bad. That's just, you're not good at all." Red C in our YouTube comments said, "Isn't it crazy how as soon as sufficient film comes out on a guy in a new location, he gets that much easier to beat?" That is the dirtiest little secret of the NFL. If you make it to the league, you get to a point where you make a 53-man roster, and I don't really care how you did it. Whether it was injuries, you're serviceable for a minute. But give me a minute to figure out your deficiencies and to game plan that, and the difference between even a good quarterback. There are a lot of people that every Jet fan I know, why did we not trade for Josh Dobbs? Well, because I didn't want to give up a draft pick for an astronaut version of what I already had. That would be the number one reason. It's also the reason the Arizona Cardinals went, "No, we're good." I think Adam Schefter last night said they gave him up for a ham sandwich. Mm-hmm. That aged poorly. By the end of the first quarter, people were tweeting, "Hey, you wonder if we could get the ham sandwich back?" Right. A ham sandwich would be real nice right now.
It's a fun little story. It was while it lasted, but it seems to happen. If you go back and look at his game logs, he really hasn't played all his career except for the end of last year and then, of course, this year.
And he's always good in the first game, slightly better in the second game, and then falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
That's the way it's always gone.
Yeah. And, he's a fine little spot starter, but he's not a full-time starter in this league, and I think we all knew that. We all knew that at some point, Josh Dobbs can be a steady backup, but I think this proves it, right? This year proves he's not the steady backup. He's more of a Nick Mullins or, a guy that you want to carry as the third guy.
My favorite tweet that I saw last night, and it wasn't really all that close, was on Twitter. Somebody said, Minnesota Viking fans getting upset about a career backup playing like a career backup. And the only thing I could think about was, "Damn the devil to hell! Oh, shoot!
I mean, you wanted it to be better, right? Because you are a team that's in position to make the playoffs. You are a team that's in position to make a run. I mean, not a run for a title or anything, but if you're a fan of that team, obviously you get in, you're going to hope that you could pull off an upset in the first round, that you could get in there and you could surprise somebody.
You can't.
You can't. I know you can't.
I just, from now on, when people look at me and go, "You're a Jets fan, you don't understand what it's like to make the playoffs," I want you to remember this Minnesota Viking team got 3 AFC championship games first 10 years as a Jet fan, but, no big deal. I know exactly what it's like. I want you to look back at this team, and maybe you'll understand what I'm saying. This is the worst position you can be in. There is no worse. I would rather be the New England Patriots right now than the Minnesota Vikings, and I mean that. Mm-hmm. Because you have just enough talent that you're going to go into next year with absolutely no hope. None.
Wow. I don't agree with that.
What's the hope? What's the hope? You bring back Kirk Cousins. Yep. What are you? Your defense still sucks on ice.
Maybe.
Straight up. It's awful.
Maybe.
Stephen Westbrook said it in the comments. The excessive blitzing is insane from Flores. You know why he's doing that? Because there's nobody in the front seven that scares even in the slightest scares any quarterback. Mm-hmm. Now, you get a mediocre quarterback and I start throwing these exotic blitzes at you, I can confuse you into you making a mistake. That's not me doing anything right. That's not my players getting better. And fans get duped by this all the time.
But through the draft, I can get better, right?
You're picking at 16.
Okay.
And this is not a team
prospect there to take?
One guy that's going to make you a Super Bowl contender? No, there's not. And this is not a great drafting team in the first place. Mm-hmm. That's the point, is that you pick in the middle of the draft. You got lucky with Justin Jefferson falling all the way to you at 22, however many years ago. It's not going to happen again. And even if it does, you're not one player short. You're going to dupe yourself into that because, well, we were this close. We just need a pass rusher. We need a corner, and then we're a contender. No, you're not.
That's right. If I got a guy like, I'm trying to think of a name, that Chop Henderson guy, is he going to be around middle of the first round?
And you know what that would change? You know what the Minnesota Vikings that would change?
What's that?
That's actually You're a little high on him, but
I don't know. It's an edge rusher, so
that would change exactly nothing.
Nothing?
Hey, look, you have one guy that can kind of rush the passer. Woohoo! It is what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that are in that very same position. Yeah. And we're going to talk about that in the power rankings in the second and third hour of the show.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The Chicago Bears did get the win last night. Does it make you feel great, though? And are there questions lingering for this franchise to figure out for the rest of the season and going forward? Here's a big one. We'll talk about it up next. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people.
I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina.
Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Cyber Golden Gable deals are here at Lowe's. Bring home a holiday living 4-piece decor set with a wreath, garland, and 2 potted trees. A $149 value, just $59. Valid through 11/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, I can help whoever's
Cooper's Overnight Shipping Company has to deliver the goods.
Ship these gifts to your grandkids.
They need a logistics manager to keep the wheels turning.
126 packages going to Toronto, Tuscaloosa, Montreal, and Minneapolis. Oh boy.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
It is ESPN Asheville. You're in the Sportsocracy. Monday Night Football. Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears victorious last night, 12-10, in an offensive showdown with the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. So the big storyline, the big talking point coming out of the game is, what are we going to do with Justin Fields if we're the Chicago Bears? We got the #1 pick in the draft, and are we doing this? Are we scrubbing Justin Fields and taking Caleb Williams or Drake May? Or Are we trying to build around Justin Fields?
Well, the question, there's really a very simple answer to that question, and it's you have to phrase the question differently. Is this front office as moronic as I think it is, or have you learned your lesson? Because if you have, and you got gifted the number 1 overall pick from, if you didn't hear David Tepper's press conference earlier, and you're a Panther fan, you should go back and listen to that.
Should you, though?
100% you should, because you should really understand who you're paying your doubloons due. When you just fired your 3rd coach in season and you're trying to sell me on your soccer team, that's going to be a no from me, dog. Do you not have a PR person at some point that goes, hey, you know what you ought not say? Any of that.
Y'all remember that march y'all were talking about a couple of weeks ago? It might be time for that. The March on Mint needs to happen because somebody needs to tell David
We sat
Tepper
here
that,
and watched David Tepper's press conference, and we both just kept looking at each other going, I can't believe he just said that.
Somebody needs to tell David Tepper that no one gives a flying fig Newton about your concerts or your soccer team. We don't care. You bought a football team, brother, and you're supposed to win football games.
Yeah, when your excuse for how things are going well is, but we have a soccer team now.
Yeah. Our economic impact on the Charlotte area has never been bigger. Nobody cares.
Yeah, you gave up the number 1 pick of the draft for a quarterback he's a little feller. Then you outright lied and said, well, we thought we were going to get the number 2 pick. Well, here's the problem with that. You get smart people like me that heard you say that and went, so let me get this straight. You're telling me you thought that we're going to convince the Houston Texans to trade down with you, who also didn't have a quarterback. That's what a lie sounds like.
Yep. Priorities all out of whack there for the owner of the Carolina Panthers. But, hey, Patrick Holt said in the comments, Charlotte FC made the playoffs their 2nd year. Woohoo!
And you know what that means to Carolina Panther fans? 2nd time I've done this today.
Exactly.
But we got Garth Brooks 2 nights in a row. Yay!
It's almost more fun for me when you do the cross-eyed thing than when I do it.
It's disgusting. Anyhow, more on that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
In future programs.
Anyway, there's more on that coming up later today.
Sure. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears here, though, because, I mean, you can still go and just search Justin Fields Chicago Bears. Click on the little news tab on Google, and you will pull up 17 different articles, and all of them have different opinions on whether or not Caleb Williams should be the quarterback next year, or it should be Drake May, or we should continue to build around Justin Fields because look at how look at how the Bryce Young disaster has gone in Carolina.
Justin Fields has now played plenty enough games that I think we can. I feel like we can look at him and go, this is what this is. Do you know how many times he's thrown for more than 2 touchdowns in a game?
I'm going to go 3.
Off by 1.
So it's 2.
4.
I went lower.
He's had 0 or 1 touchdowns in every game. And I'm talking about throwing. I don't care that you can run. I really don't. If Lamar Jackson hasn't taught you that, well, your ability to run is cute, but you're going to have to learn how to throw it down the field. Because do you not see the irony that the most formidable that the Baltimore Ravens have ever seemed is after they drafted Zay Flowers and you start throwing the ball down the field? Lamar's never run less. They've never been better. Is that ironic to you? Because if it is, then that explains why this is still a question. Because it shouldn't be. Ryan Poles should not be sitting up in the booth watching these games. He should have been in Raleigh this past week watching Drake May. Going, is that our future quarterback? Because I'm going to have to sell this because the last time we drafted North Carolina quarterback didn't go so well. Or Caleb Williams, I frankly don't care.
No.
I don't care which one you take. I can tell you this definitively, and I've told you this since the day Justin Fields came in this league. That is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he's not even close. He's not even I'm not sure he could even get you to the playoffs, let alone win a game when he gets there.
Right.
Every single week we try to find ways of, well, if he runs for 130 yards, then they have a chance. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it tells you he's not good at the one position he's supposed to be good at.
When they win games, it's almost never because of anything he did with his arm. Because I'm going to double down on that question that I asked you earlier. In the 4 games that he has thrown for more than 2 touchdowns, what's their record?
I'm going to go 1-3.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. They are 1-3.
Yeah, because you're playing from behind in most of those games. If you're throwing, if Justin Fields is having to throw a lot, that means they're already getting smoked by 20. Because as long as the game is within 2 touchdowns, they're going to think that he can run them back into it. So that makes perfect sense.
Last night, just think about what you actually saw last night. Yes, you won an NFL football game 12-10. Now, let's really cut through the nonsense and realize that he had to lead a drive going down the field as time's expiring in a game where they threw 4 interceptions. They gifted you the ball 4 times. You still needed a last-second drive to win. That's everything you need to know. That's one of those games that there's no excuse for you to lose. It shouldn't have been close. Shouldn't have even been in doubt. But you have one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
And think about how good this Bears offense could be if you go out and you get an offensive coach that knows what he's doing, give him Caleb Williams, maybe draft one of the tackles, Joe Alt or Ola Fashanu with that other top 5 pick or whatever that's going to be. I feel pretty good about your chances because you can already run the football. You add another tackle to that offensive line, that's going to add protection for Caleb. DJ Moore's pretty good. 11 catches for 114 last night. He could do much better if you gave him an actual quarterback to play with.
Because notice, DJ Moore was fine with Tyson Bagent.
I'm your huckleberry.
The Sportsocracy, the Ocho, which is our buddy Armchair Commentary, it's Stone Sports Podcast, talking about all the sports that we don't. Said, remember when Justin Fields said he'd be the Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards?
Yep.
Yeah, that was cute. The only way that's going to happen is if the Chicago Bears all of a sudden are the first team in NFL history to play 34 games in an NFL season.
Right.
When you average $170 a week, it's kind of hard to get to 4,000.
Yeah. He meant for his career. He's going to hit 4,000 in his career at some point.
You know, I'm glad you just said that because I had to look. He's only got 5,700 for his entire career. That's in 35 games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to figure out.
No, it's not hard to figure out. Justin Fields is not the guy, and you move on from that. Because if you stick with him, I mean, that puts you into the scenario of having to pick up the 5th-year option to show your solidarity for him and all of that. And we're not doing that. No. He's not worth that. Clear house. Get your quarterback. Don't screw this up. But you got to get him an offensive coach. You can't let Matt Eberflus stick around here.
No, that's the other part of this. Is there a path that you retain him? Because I would say no.
No.
But the defense looks better.
I mean,
it does.
It's all right, but I'm not hanging on to a coach for that. I mean, to the head coach for that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I was just giving you the argument that I've already heard.
I mean, I would consider maybe bringing in a new head coach and keeping a defensive coordinator if that were his job. But that's not his job. He's a head coach, and you can't look at Matt and go, hey, we really we want somebody else to be the head coach, but we'd like to keep you as the defensive coordinator. You can't do that.
No.
So I'd say yes. I would say get rid of him. I would say probably start over with a new GM as well, but
and Kelvin Joyner asked in the YouTube comments, so what's next? He becomes someone's Taysom Hill? You know, that is one path. I don't think that's where it will go because let me just I'm going to, off the top of my head, give you that the Arizona Cardinals have played Clayton Tune. The New York Giants are actively playing Tommy DeVito. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing Baker Mayfield. John Wolford and Brett Rippon have started games in the last 2 years for the Los Angeles Rams. Jordan Love's still playing for the Packers. The New England Patriots don't have a quarterback. If you multiplied the 3 on the roster by each other, they still wouldn't have one. The Jets just started Tim Boyle. Maybe you see where I'm headed with this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole mess of landing spots where somebody will go, I can fix him. He was poorly coached by Matt Eberflus, and I can fix him.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens. I'm just trying to think of, like, who would
virtually every team I just said.
Really?
No
I
doubt.
mean, you have to bring him in to make him the guy. He can't be a backup.
No. Virtually every team I just said. The bottom of this league has never been worse. Justin Fields will get another bite at the apple. It just shouldn't be in Chicago.
Yeah.
A team with 2 top 5 picks, you have to absolutely look at this and go, no, this is our time where we can correct the wrong.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, it'll be time to get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, I brought back the chilly weather today, and it is going to be very cold tonight, easily the coldest morning Wednesday morning so far this fall. This is going to feel like the middle of winter. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some high single digits in the normally colder areas, but most of us into the teens. Gusty wind this afternoon, could gust 40-plus in some spots, high near 40. Tonight, mainly clear. 16 officially, sunny tomorrow, 50. For the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Cyber Golden Gable deals are here at Lowe's. Bring home a holiday living 4-piece decor set with a wreath, garland, and 2 potted trees. A $149 value, just $59. Valid through 11/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
The Rolling Stones, the greatest rock and roll band in the world, famous for their police-escorted motorcades that whisk them in and out of their live shows. Now, iHeartRadio gives you a chance to be part of the entourage on the Stones' upcoming tour. You and 3 friends travel via motorcade to the VIP entrance, check out Soundcheck, and see the Rolling Stones live from some of the best seats in the house. Another iHeartRadio once-in-a-lifetime experience. Enter to win by listening to this station on the free iHeartRadio app.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people.
I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina.
I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy live on ESPN Asheville, coming to you from the Ingalls studio, and we're not going to get to see Cheez-It baths anymore for the bowl season. Aren't you upset, Jeremy?
Do
longer.
I still have to see the Duke's Mayo bath?
Yes, you do.
Of which Duke's mayonnaise is awesome, but I don't need to see anybody covered in it.
Yes, the Duke's Mayo thing, that's still a thing. But the Cheez-It Bowl's going away. They've changed it.
Which one? We had 2.
They've changed it now. Oh, yeah, that's right. There were 2, weren't they? Well, this is the one that's in Orlando that's been the Cheez-It Champs Camping World, all, the Russell Athletic Bowl. Yeah, now it's Pop-Tarts.
Sweet.
Which is awesome. We're going to get the Pop-Tart Bowl. But they're going to do something at the Pop-Tart Bowl that's never been done before.
I am terrified to ask.
They're going to have a one-of-a-kind mascot. An edible Pop-Tart. That will be the championship. After the game's over and all the team gets to celebrate, then you get to eat the mascot. They're going to have a giant Pop-Tart from which the team will be taking bites, I guess. And for it to be a mascot, I would have to imagine it's some sort of someone in a suit, right?
There are no less than 27 jokes I want to tell right now, and none of them are allowed.
This seems to be one of the most, it's original idea. We're going to eat the mascot. Guess we'll have to tune in to the Pop-Tart Bowl to find out.
Bet I don't. I bet I don't tune in to see a bunch of college kids eat a costume that a sweaty another college kid was just wearing. And this is a great time to ask, have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? So friggin' good.
See, and that's where I thought this should go, was that we can combine the two of the Duke's Mayo bath and the Pop-Tart mascot. We bathe the mascot in melted butter, and then you can eat him. Because that would be so good.
My story is about Utah State quarterback Levi Williams. If you, like Tank, were so reticent to watch the Iron Bowl that you were watching Mountain West football over the weekend,
it was riveting.
You would know that Levi Williams led the Utah State Aggies to a 44-41 victory over New Mexico, which made them bowl eligible. And that was Levi Williams' first career start. He went 16 of 27, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Good for him.
This is the time of the year where you see a lot of backup quarterbacks entering the transfer portal and looking at their next steps. Well, Levi Williams has done the same thing. He came out yesterday on on KSL Sports, This was retweeted by 24/7 Sports, and said, "Yeah, I don't have to worry about that because I'm entering Navy SEAL school." I don't know that I've ever seen that before. He's still got eligibility left. He could have continued to play, and he's tapping out to become a Navy SEAL.
He has a way more lucrative career doing that than he does in football.
Well, that also just means that he is probably a bit of a badass.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one thing you never want to mess with. It's
Navy SEAL.
If somebody says, "Hey, I went to Navy SEAL school," don't fight that dude. Don't ask me how I know that. I may have found that out the hard way one time.
Oh, ouch.
I was a Muay Thai fighter, and I found that out the hard way.
So you still have all your pieces, or did he take some of them?
No. No, I put up just a whale of a fight, as I do. But if there had been a hand raising at the end of that, I would not have been. I'd have been sitting there looking all sad.
That's one of the things that frightened me the most in my adult life was I dated a girl once whose dad was a former Navy SEAL. He told me stories about ways to remove body parts from people that gave me nightmares. So, yep. Good for you.
My uncle is a former Navy SEAL.
Is he?
And he's 75. And I guarantee he would still give me just a whale of a fight, and he would spin you like a 45 at 75 years old.
No doubt. No doubt about it. It is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. All right, Frank Reich has been fired.
Yes, mercifully.
So there's a job opening in Carolina. Where does that fall though? I mean, is that We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Is it definitively the worst job in the NFL?
No doubt. I got an owner that's fired coaches midseason three times. Has 30 wins total in all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that? And then you look around the landscape at all the other jobs that could come open. Adam Schefter yesterday said 7 to 10 NFL jobs could come open. And a lot of people really freaked out about that. I don't know why, because that should have been pretty easy to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just let's count them together, shall we? New England Patriots.
Yep.
New York Jets.
Yep.
Raiders is already open.
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina Panthers is already open. New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chicago Bears.
Yep.
That's 9.
Mm-hmm.
If you get one more that's a little off the beaten path, because we tend to get one of those every single year, that's 10. That's on the high side of what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, name me the job there that's less attractive than Carolina. Usually I would say Chicago, except they have your pick. Oh, and they have your second-round pick next year.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have the best weapon that you've drafted in the last handful of years because you gave that up.
Because you gave that to them.
Oh, and they already have a starting right tackle and a starting corner that they got off the picks that they got from you last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, New England, but you get Bob Kraft.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
I mean, the
New
roster's bereft of talent, but so is Carolina's, and they have all their draft picks.
Yeah. I got an opportunity to rebuild that.
I would say in pretty short order.
Probably so.
With an owner like Robert Kraft, you don't have to worry what they're paying their scouts. I promise you that much.
Right.
And as soon as you have somebody without full autonomy like Bill Belichick, probably going to stop making those Cole Strange picks.
Right.
Or taking Jake Ryland, or was it Chad Ryland? It's not Jake Ryland.
Mm-mm. I don't know who Jake Ryland is, but
I combined like 3 different people. I think I combined
Jake Rohrwasser.
No, I think I was thinking Jake Moody.
Jake Moody. That would make more sense. He was actually a kicker, who's played in the NFL. Did Rohrwasser ever get a chance to play?
No,
he didn't. We canceled him before that, right?
No doubt. I have an I'm mad about trying to cancel people.
Should I not bring that up?
I have an I'm mad about trying to cancel people. There's a former syndicated radio host who I am about to I'm going to dip him in breadcrumbs and drop him in a vat of melted butter.
Beautiful. No, there's not another job that is as bad as the Carolina Panthers, and especially after seeing David Tepper's press conference today, where he wants to talk about everything but, we've had some successes. No, you haven't.
No. You have not.
Bringing concerts to our stadium and bringing in a soccer team has
that's not a success.
It has nothing to. I mean, it is a success. It's a business success for him.
It's not a success for the team.
in his pockets. But exactly, it's not a benefit to the Carolina Panthers.
You ever notice that no other owner does that? No other owner does that. Jerry Jones makes money hand over fist bringing concerts to AT&T Stadium. Have you ever heard him bring that up? No. Because he knows you don't care. Hey, I made a lot of money. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said earlier. Whoever the PR guy for David Tepper is should be fired immediately. He should have gone out with Frank Reich yesterday. What's the most attractive of those jobs?
The most attractive?
Because I have a funny feeling we're going to disagree.
Of the possible openings, the most attractive, I think Washington's up there.
Washington's certainly up there for me. That's in the top 3.
I would say the Raiders is up there.
The Raiders is close to the top 3. I don't have it in my top 3.
Chargers.
Chargers is my 2.
Chargers would probably be my 1. Who was your 1?
Jets. Not close.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I got an owner with a limitless checkbook.
I honestly don't think you're going that route, though. I don't know that you're
I have
firing
to hope. I have to hope that we do.
I've
spent 24 hours constructing a I don't even know what you would call that. It's like a mosaic of Jets disasters.
It's a collage. It's a collage of chaos. That's what you should call it.
Yeah, it's made me very sad, and really made me hope Robert Saleh gets fired.
I don't think he's gonna though. But yeah, you're right. If he does, the Jets' job would be up there because you're getting Aaron Rodgers and
a ready-made defense.
Oh,
and you're probably going to have a top 5 pick because I don't know who you're supposed to beat. I have absolutely no idea who you're supposed to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But those, to me, that's the delineation. Those are the 4 really good jobs. Then you get New England that it has the bones to be one, but you're going to have to really, really have patience because you're 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Yes.
In terms of talent.
It's a long-term rebuild. What about Robert Kraft reaching out to try to snake Mike Vrabel back? You think that's
There's
a possibility?
rumor that Mike Vrabel could be axed anyway.
Really?
Yes. I don't believe that in any way.
Well, I think
but
Robert
I've heard
Kraft
it.
was praying for that.
Oh, if he does, that's the next head coach of the New England Patriots. And I don't think there's any doubt about it.
No doubt.
I can't see a path that you have one bad year and that's a team that you talk about a team that drafted badly. Oh, buddy.
Mm-hmm. But maybe that's all part of it, I guess. Who knows?
You did hire a GM. GMs tend to want to hire their own coaches.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one. If there was a curveball, I would say it's Tennessee.
Yeah. That's the only one I keep looking at and thinking there's a chance. A good
Everybody
chance.
else is so new into things that I haven't even really formulated an opinion on.
Well, you're either new into things or you're just.
I mean, the other one's Brian Daboll. If that situation is as tenuous as I keep getting told it is, did you see him give the game ball to Wink Martindale?
Yeah.
Oh, Jake Glazer reported that we don't like each other. Look, I'm giving him a game ball. We're best friends. Meanwhile, Wink Martindale's looking at him like, I would punch you directly in the jejunum if I got the opportunity. That camera wasn't pointed at me, I would punch you in the throat right now.
It is a very special Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy because, Jeremy has just, it was a long hiatus for us from last Wednesday until yesterday of not being on the air and being able to air all of the grievances. It's not Festivus yet, but hey, maybe this is the warm-up. We've got 3.
I have no animals,
Mads.
but my next-door neighbor has a cat that I think they forgot to feed over Christmas or over Thanksgiving. It was just sitting at the door going, meow. I started yelling at the cat.
Yeah.
I didn't have any. Hey! Shut up!
It is a menage a trois of Mads today here in the Sportsocracy, the first of which will be coming up next.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
With Black Friday appliance savings all month long at the Home Depot, we're making the holidays merrier by making holiday hosting easier with our lowest prices of the year on Whirlpool kitchen appliances. Get everything you need to store all your holiday favorites,
Dinner's ready,
and the leftovers with top brand kitchen appliances at a great value. Final days to save up to $2,300 on select kitchen packages, including top brands like Whirlpool with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Ends November 29th.
Ever felt lost in the maze of health insurance options? Hummingbird Insurance, North Carolina's #1 rated health insurance agency, is here to help. Did you know most qualify for health insurance with $0 net premiums? Don't stress. Hummingbird Insurance is no cost and walks you through your options across insurance carriers. Understand your options now and be ready for 2024 enrollment. Visit hummingbirdins.com and schedule your free consultation. Hummingbird Insurance. Comparison shopping made easy.
The Panthers are back in the NFC South this weekend as they visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is Anish Shroff. Join me, Jake Delhomme, Jim Zoki, and Sharon Thorsland this Sunday for Week 13. Pre-game coverage at 3. Kickoff follows at 4:05 on the Carolina Panthers radio network.
Panther football live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Sorrell's Garage and Service is your one-stop car care, offering alignments, oil changes, brakes, North Carolina inspections. Call 926-0385 to schedule your appointment with excellent customer service to handle all your automotive needs. Enjoy a delicious meal while you wait at J Creek Cafe. Michael Sorrell's Marathon, your one-stop shop servicing Waynesville and Maggie Valley.
Hear that? That's the sound of new digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Now, you can play right from your phone and win real cash prizes. It may all sound new, but winning, oh yeah, big money, is as thrilling as ever. Register to play digital instants for a whole new way to win. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Dirty Turkish shark back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
You know, we've been off for a few days when I'm mad enough to do 3 of these in one day, and the first one comes from Deadspin, one of my favorite punching bags that I continuously forget still exists, and Dan Lebitard. If you were watching the Kansas City Chiefs Las Vegas Raiders game over the weekend, you would know that they showed a kid that was wearing his Chiefs garb. He was wearing a Travis Kelce jersey. He was wearing a headdress, and they showed part of his face that was painted black. Well, of course, Deadspin, being the absolute hack rag that it is, had to turn that into a racist. Oh, he's wearing blackface in a stadium. Well, the only problem with that is there's this thing about cameras that there's usually more than one of them. And so over the last couple of days, we've seen several other shots of this kid that very clearly showed that half of his face was painted black. The other half was painted red. And you know why? Because that's the Chiefs' colors. And if you really actually did your journalistic due diligence, which I don't expect you to do because you're basically TMZ with a little lean to sports, then you would have already known that. Then they kind of backpedaled and went, we boo-booed, pull the nose up. And then Dan Lebitard could not help, just couldn't help, but stick his formerly syndicated, now completely irrelevant, where do you even find that show nose right into this. He said, I can't help but laugh somehow at the idea of they want them sued for one racism while the kid is still in full racist garb. The only part of him that's not intentionally kind of racist is the black part. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't often say this because we live in a society where people say stupid things all day, every day. That is the stupidest thing that anybody has allowed to come out of their mouth in the last fortnight at the least. And I must admit, when I saw that it came from Dan Lebitard, I wasn't even nominally shocked. And so now's the mad part of this. Deadspin, you're so irrelevant that you're almost like yelling at a cat. You wouldn't know what I was saying even if you somehow got wind of what I said. You wouldn't know what I was saying because you're so absolutely clueless in this space that I'm not surprised. Dan Lebitard, you've made a career of saying stupid things like this and the 8 people that keep you on air being offended with you. Now, here's the part that really drives me crazy. Can we stop trying to cancel everything? This kid's 10 years old. And you plastered his face over websites and on social media. And what was your intention? What did you really want to gain out of that? Because the only thing I can really wrap my head around is that you were trying to publicly shame a 10-year-old. And that, for me, is a new low, even in a social media age. I'm mad.
Yeah. It is very, very sad that people will try to use anything they can to make a headline to get some clicks these days, and that's what all this was. Karan Johnson knew exactly what that kid was doing. He knew that if he put this out there that he would get Deadspin in the headlines again, and guess what? It even got Elon Musk talking about us. It's just that old school of all publicity is good publicity, and it's bullcrap.
Or maybe you could actually do the work, and then maybe you wouldn't be an irrelevant rag.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Power Rankings Tuesday. Gets underway next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, I brought back the chilly weather today, and it is going to be very cold tonight, easily the coldest morning Wednesday morning so far this fall. This is going to feel like the middle of winter. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some high single digits in the normally colder areas, but most of us into the teens. Gusty wind this afternoon. Could gust 40-plus in some spots, high near 40. Tonight, mainly clear. 16 officially, sunny tomorrow, 50. For the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently, there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
That fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy's heard everywhere you go around the world on the iHeart Radio app, and you can watch us live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Once you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to join us in the chat. Get your thoughts in on the power rankings here on a Power Rankings Tuesday. Week 13 in the NFL it is. I mean, we're ready to call this the home stretch. Everybody making their play for the playoffs. And there's like a lot of gross teams that are just kind of fighting it out for the bottom of the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
The bottom of the AFC is not great either.
Yeah, but there's way less of them.
True. Very true. But we always start from the bottom.
We're like Drake. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
The Pooh tier, number 32.
The Carolina Panthers. Yep. You finally got me. I have no hope. I have no hope for this being turned around. I have no hope that you didn't give up the number one pick in the draft for Bryce Young. Mm-hmm. The fact that the fact that your owner is lying to me, and I know it unequivocally. This is not a hey, I guessed. Hey, I'm reading tea leaves. Like, no, I definitively know that you just lied to me at least once. I'm good. I don't know where you go now.
What do you lie about?
We were trying to trade up to 2. That's when we were on C.J. Stroud. We were always all in on Bryce Young. No, you fired Frank Reich because he had the audacity in your mind to come out and say he wanted C.J. Stroud to distance himself from the fact you took Bryce Young, and he did that in August. Mm-hmm. And every single one of us in this market know that.
Yep.
All of us. And you looked every one of us in the eyes and lied.
Yep. And said that he didn't have a part in that. Choosing.
And
that
trust
was
me,
the football guys.
And trust me, coaches around this league know it too.
Mm-hmm. Carolina Panthers 32. Fired coach bump, though. Might get them a win over my Bucks this weekend.
One can only hope. Man, I would love to see their second win be against your poop team.
Number 31.
The New England Patriots.
This is going nowhere.
It's not good. Bill Buttigieg said it's about time you put the Panthers below us. It's razor thin. They're now being coached by a special teams coach. That's. I mean, what do you want me to say here? Mm-hmm. Who in the world could you possibly have below you?
No, this team's absolutely terrible.
Mac Jones has been benched 4 times in 1 year.
No doubt.
I don't know that that's a record. I don't ever remember that happening anywhere else.
No.
And Bill with his, well, we expect everybody to be ready to play. That really plays when you win, and it makes you sound like the biggest buffoon on the planet when you're just getting your brains bashed out every single week. By the way, my favorite stat of the weekend, teams that give up less than 10 points in the NFL this year, what is the record? 50-2. The 2 losses are the New England Patriots in the last 2 weeks. The defense is fine. Mm-hmm. I think it will be an attractive job because of Robert Kraft. There is less than zero chance that Bill Belichick comes back.
I would agree.
Now, the question is, does he wind up somewhere else? And I don't know. I don't think, just knowing Bill the way that I do, he's been a coach in my division, he coached my team. I know a lot of people that know him personally. I can't imagine he wants to go out like this. I just don't know who's going to be receptive to bringing him in because he wants full autonomy. Mm-hmm. I keep hearing Washington. I don't in any way believe that ownership group is giving him full autonomy. You look at his draft record, I don't care how many Super Bowls you have. You don't deserve that. Nobody really deserves that. So I just don't see a spot. The Giants make sense, but I don't know that they're coming off a Daboll.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brian Daboll and company just beat that New England team.
Hey, speaking of the...
So at number 30...
The New York Football Giants!
That's how close it is.
Oh, Tommy DeVito. I don't know what to do with this. I look at Brian Haynes sometimes and I'm like, I'm a Jets fan, so I understand what it's like to just look at your team and go, why do I do this to myself? I don't know how you watch this team. I really don't, because there is just nothing to be excited about. Hey, we have a running back that's good sometimes. And then what?
And then that's it. That's all you got. Thought you were building on something last year, but yeah, it turns out that whole easy schedule thing, that played in. That played last year for you, and it didn't play for you this year. And now we see just how bereft of talent this team is. And now the fun part hasn't even begun yet, because now the fun part starts in the offseason.
Well, you've got to be able to draft, and I think they've done a decent job of that. The current brain trust in New York, it's ironic, because I feel the same way about all 3 teams from the state of New York. The New York Jets, the New York Giants, and the Buffalo Bills. When you hit, you really hit. When you miss, whoa, it's awful. All 3 of those teams, when they miss on guys, good Lord, how did you get there? Just an ironic little coincidence.
Yep. Number 29.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Perfect strategy here.
Just keep losing.
Damn right. We've got things to build on. We've got, this is just, we're going to go out here. We're going to play. We're not going to, we're not going to get too crazy. We might be a little competitive every now and then, but hey, we don't want to win anything.
The most interesting story of the offseason to me, and I'm not sure that it's all that close. Do you know the current draft order?
I think Chicago's 1.
Chicago's
and
1.
2.
Arizona's 2. New England's 3. Chicago is 4. And Washington is 5.
Mm-hmm.
The most interesting story of the offseason to me is what does Arizona do with Kyler Murray? Because if you're sitting at 2, you're guaranteed one of those quarterbacks is going to fall in your lap.
Yep.
So you could trade down and get the king's ransom and just roll with Kyler Murray. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure that's what they're going to do.
I don't know that I would do anything. Well, you
have to do something. You have to make a choice one way or the other.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not changing anything. I'll shop it out there. I'll see if anybody's interested in Kyler Murray, and if they want to offer me a package, then I will consider it. But
I'm not sure I care.
But I don't know that anybody's doing that.
I'm not sure. Certainly somebody would do that. Certainly. Do I need to re-reference that list of Tommy DeVito is starting games in this league right now?
I get
trust me, there's a team that would be interested.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that's not the path I wouldn't go. I don't know yet. I have said I think both of the quarterbacks could be the 2 landmines because I do not see a miss if you go any other position in the top 10. The only one that kind of scares me is Liatu Latu because of the medical. It has nothing to do on field. So I don't know. I'm putting out team by team 3-round mock drafts, and Arizona's the second team. I've already done Chicago's. And I'm looking at Arizona going, I'm really glad I don't have to make this decision because there's a lot that goes into this.
Right. I just don't know that you're making a deal. I don't know that anybody's going to get Kyler Murray from you, or they're going to give you what you feel like you would need.
Well, you're trading one of the 2. You're either trading out of 2 or you're trading Kyler Murray. There is no in between.
Yeah. And then you trade down to what, 3? You trade down to 3 or 4. You don't trade too far.
Depends. Red Sea is a Cardinals fan. He said a $50 million dead cap hit for us. Yeah, no, I'm good. And I understand that. But if you fall in love with a quarterback, and we have seen teams do this a lot, what do you do?
Yeah. I would do everything in my power to get Marvin Harrison.
I don't know that you can just sit there. I really don't. With 2 quarterbacks on the board that are thought of that highly, I don't know that you can just sit there. Look at the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Look, receivers, and sorry, I'm going on a little tangent here. I get Marvin Harrison Jr. is special. He is a special wide receiver. You do get there's 2 more of those in this top 10, right? You do get that there are 21 receivers that I have in my top 100, and I think it's in my top 150. You're not giving up what you could get for a pick like that for a receiver. I don't give a damn how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's more next year too, and there's more the next year and the next year. Receiver at this point, being receiver wealthy doesn't really mean much. Now, high end, highest of the elite, okay, I get it. And they have a ton of picks, which Red Sea just said they already have 14 picks. You're right. You're 100% right. But you know what's better than 14? 14 and 14 next year. Because that's what I really want.
Right. I want to keep building that treasure trove for future years. I get it. Big decision to make in Arizona, no doubt about it. At number 28.
My New York Football Jets.
Mm-hmm. Your 2023 Super Bowl champions, right?
Oh, yeah, that went down in a blaze of glory. Don't worry, that's on the back of that shirt.
New York Jets just keep losing, right?
That's what I want.
That's where
I don't want to win another game. Aaron Rodgers keeps talking about coming back. Please stop. Please stop. We're not putting you behind this god-awful offensive line. We're going to have some real uncomfortable conversations over the offseason because, look, I said this on Twitter the other day. If I'm Woody Johnson, I'm already scheduling the meeting with Aaron of, look, buddy, here's where this goes. You're already a sunk cost. We're not going to move off of you. You're stuck here. So if you want to play, it's here. But we're going to have to figure out what you've got to have and what you can't have. Because Nathaniel Hackett is not an offensive coordinator. Robert Saleh is not a head coach. Alan Lazard was a healthy scratch against the Dolphins. Randall Cobb is horrific. And basically everything Aaron brought with him has been a train wreck.
Without him.
it wouldn't be good with him.
You don't think
Randall
so?
Cobb could not outrun me at this point, and he can't catch. So just because they're your buddies, you don't get to hijack this franchise. We love you, and trust me, you gave us more hope than anybody ever has. But you don't get to just hold us hostage. Now, whether that'll happen, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably be all back next
I
year.
was gonna say that sounds all great in your head. The problem is you're going right back to square one. When this offseason, like the
Aaron's not going to retire. He's not going out 4 plays with the Jets. That's just not going to happen.
No,
This is one of those times to call his bluff.
But what I'm saying is the counter restarts, right? At 4 plays into this season, all the hope essentially was gone. And then
But it wasn't, though, because you still have a really good defense.
I got it. You pushed it on and it didn't pan out. But what I'm saying is that hope renews.
Not with Robert Saleh, it doesn't. If Robert Saleh is the head coach of this team, I don't care if you've got Aaron Rodgers, Calvin Johnson, Jerry Rice, Anthony Munoz, Jonathan Ogden. I do not care. He is as bad of as a head coach with clock management, game management as I have ever seen. He must go. My fear is that Joe Douglas is going to be the one they sacrifice, and I'm not sure he's not the smartest one of the bunch.
Yeah. Number 27.
The Chicago Bears. Hey, speaking of teams that have to make decisions in the offseason, that Justin Fields one's going to be fun. Because no matter what you do, you're wrong.
Well, I mean, you're in the same position that the Cardinals are in. Of you have a piece that's worth something. Are you going to get anything out of it? Are you going to move on?
Well, I mean, the thing with the Bears is at some point this is almost like the Danny Ainge thing. Of you can accumulate all the draft picks you want to, you got to make them something. And until he got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you hadn't made anything of the draft picks. All you're doing is kicking the can down the road. So if I'm Chicago, I'm looking at one. I almost feel like I would take the quarterback at 1. And look, I'm on record. I don't love either one of them. Move on from Fields, get the pick that Atlanta or whoever would give me for that. And then I'm going to come off 4 because you'll still be able to get tremendous amount of value for that. I just don't know that that's what's going to happen. I think it's more likely that they trade 1. They try to take that impact player at 4. They push down. They get more capital down the line, but it's still Ryan Poles taking these guys. And I'm not sure how great I feel about that.
But that leaves you settled with Justin Fields.
Exactly.
And that is a major problem because he's not a guy that is, or at least we can't foresee him as being a guy that's going to win you anything. You're going to continue to do this over and over with him. Number 26.
Yeah, we got 2 more in the poop tier, and we'll get these out of the way and then get into the real meaty clackers of the power rankings. The Los Angeles Rams. Hey, you smoked the Cardinals. Awesome.
Yep.
That's good for you.
Yep. I mean,
this is another team. You want to just keep losing. You got to get Sean McVay some talent. You've got 2 receivers. That's it. And you got some scrappy guys on the defense. But look, I think a year from now the Rams will be fine because you do have pieces, and they're doing what I always say bad teams should do. Chuck the young guys out there, sink or swim, and you'll figure it out. All right, you set a draft pick on fire with Stetson Bennett. I told you did that on draft night. I ain't been wrong for not nary a second. You're going to have a quarterback problem, and you're going to have a quarterback problem real soon. So just keep losing. Lose the games you're supposed to. If you win a couple games, hey, better. You don't want to make the playoffs for this team.
And last one in the bottom 8, number 25.
The Tennessee Titans. You have a quarterback and maybe the worst offensive line I've ever seen. But it is the calendar's getting ready to roll to December, and we know what happens in December. Derrick Henry becomes a superhero, and
he's going to leave you a little hope.
Tennessee is, to me, the Tennessee Titans and the Los Angeles Rams are the same team. The only difference is one has a really young gunslinger quarterback, the other one has a really old gunslinger quarterback. Because you have pieces. Jeffrey Simmons is one of the best defensive linemen in the league. I mean, he annihilated the Panthers. But once you get out of that top, 6, 7 guys on the roster, and you get into the 20s, you've got some miscasting there. You got guys in the 20s of your roster that should be in the 40s. So they need to have 2 really good drafts, but I think things are headed in the right direction.
But I was
you
gonna
had a cap with Ryan Tannehill. You always did.
Yeah. But I was going to say, you're in a really good position because you do have some really good young players on this team, and you've got a new GM that is just getting his feet under him, right?
Well, I mean, and just think about this. His top 2 picks last year were Peter Skoronski and Will Levis.
Exactly.
I could make the argument that's 2 of the 10 best players on your team.
No doubt. No doubt. So the future is bright if you maintain. If you can just, stave off the wolves at the gate and stick with Mike Vrabel, I think you'll be fine. You fire him with the pressure from the fan base, and I feel like you're going to do yourself a great disservice and put yourself behind the 8 ball. You're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. We will continue with the Power Rankings Tuesday next.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
UNC Asheville basketball is back on the air this Friday night as Johnson University comes to Kimmel Arena. The Bulldogs won 2 of 3 in Canada over Thanksgiving and look to keep it rolling. The Ingalls Countdown the Tip-Off show starts at 6 with a tip at 6:30 on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Make it easy to navigate your health insurance coverage with #1 rated Hummingbird Insurance. Hummingbird provides free assistance for easy comparison shopping across multiple insurance carriers. Schedule a free consultation at hummingbirdins.com. Many qualify for $0 net premiums. Even high earners may qualify for tax credit subsidies. Don't wait to learn about your options. Enroll now for next year. Visit hummingbirdins.com. Hummingbird Insurance. Comparison shopping made easy.
Why join Asheville Smiles Dental Membership Plan? Well, if you don't have dental insurance, are paying too much for dental insurance, or are retired and need dental care, there are options. Asheville Smiles' mission is to deliver the best, most comprehensive care available. An important part of that mission is making the cost of optimal care easy and manageable for patients by offering several payment options and 2 membership plans. Dr. Rebecca Merrill and her staff, they offer state-of-the-art dental care for every person they have the privilege to serve.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is ESPN Asheville on the Power Rankings Tuesday. Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We've worked our way through the bottom 8, and now...
Or as we like to call it, the poop tier.
Yeah, but it really doesn't stop here. You've got a few more.
No, but this is a different tier.
Okay. What are we calling this one? The semi-soft tier?
No. No, just give me the numbers. You'll figure it out.
Number 24.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And then?
Number 23.
The New Orleans Saints. And then?
Number 22.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Ah.
It's the NFC South.
Nice.
Hey, you're awful. Just genuinely. Yep. Good Lord have mercy. This is the worst division in the history of football.
Yep. Every damn one of them is just awful. You got the worst team in the league in your division, and the other three should be picking in the top 7 as well. Normal years in the NFL, I feel like all of these teams would be just god-awful.
Well, as of right now, Carolina's pick would be at 1. Tampa Bay would be 7. New Orleans would be 12. And New Orleans is 1 loss out of being 8.
Mm-hmm.
What wins this division at this point? What record-wise?
Record-wise, I'll say it's probably.
If you say any number that is not smaller than the number that precedes it.
Oh yeah, 7-10.
I don't know if it's that low. Because let's just, in theory, the 3 teams that are competing for this division play 3 of the 5 worst remaining schedules in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta has, and these are not in order, they play Carolina, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. The 3 games not in the division are Indianapolis, the Bears, and the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
You will beat the Jets. You will beat the Bears. You will win 2 of the 3 division games?
Maybe.
1 of the 3 division games?
Maybe.
And then probably lose to Indianapolis. That would put Atlanta at 8-9. And I don't really see how they're going to finish worse than that. I've heard 7-10. I get why you're saying it because none of these teams are good.
It's a real possibility.
I just don't know how it would happen. Because your Bucks still play Atlanta and New Orleans. Mm-hmm. You got 2 with Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
For you to finish 7-10, you would practically have to lose to Carolina. And then lose every other game you have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you play Green Bay and Jacksonville. Those are probably both losses.
We lost to Carolina with Tom Brady. So,
yeah.
Just
This is a slightly different Carolina.
Yeah, a Carolina that just lost their coach. You get the fired coach bump.
Yeah.
In Tampa this weekend. It could happen. I don't put anything past Todd Bowles.
You should.
A Todd Bowles coach team can let you down in so many ways.
You shouldn't. Have you seen the line for this game?
Is it Tampa minus 4.5?
5.5. That means Tampa would only be a 2.5-point favorite at home.
Uh-huh.
Or in Carolina, excuse me, because they are at home.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's not good.
And just to play out the rest of this, the Saints still play the Lions, which that's not going to go your way. Mm-hmm. The other games on their schedule are the Panthers, the Giants, the Bucks, the Rams, and the Falcons. If you're even, if you know which direction your helmet is supposed to be put on, you should win 4 games there. But you're not gonna.
No.
You're not gonna.
3. I give you 3 at best.
That puts New Orleans and Atlanta in a tie at 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And I agree with you definitively.
There is going to be a loser come out of this division. And there's no real way around it. I mean, there's a small chance that somebody could get lucky here, get hot. Maybe Arthur Smith continues to use Bijan Robinson like he was last week.
Is Desmond Ridder still your quarterback?
I don't know.
Then the only way you're getting hot is if somebody lights a campfire underneath you.
Hey, man, you never know. You never know how this goes.
Maybe. Unless somebody turns down the air conditioner, Atlanta ain't getting hot.
Desmond starts throwing for 230 yards again like he was before he got benched the first time, and maybe they can pull out enough wins to have a winning record, but I doubt it.
You gave the beginning of that stat line. You forgot the 2 interceptions at the end of it.
None of these teams are really worth a damn. Like I said, they should all be picking real high. Unfortunately, we live in a system that one of these teams is going to get a home playoff game.
And I'm going to say this as confidently as I can. The loser in this division is whoever makes the playoff.
Yep.
Because all 3 of the other teams are going to fire their coach, which means that they might have a cognitive direction 365 days from now.
Yes. So let's go Atlanta Falcons.
That's probably the way it goes.
It's got to be the hope, right?
But nothing in this division's made sense. New Orleans is the most talented team by a mile. They have the best quarterback by a mile. None of that has borne itself out.
You thought he was the best.
Oh, there's no doubt he's the most talented quarterback in this division. That's not even debatable. That would be like arguing with me about what day it is. Okay. Yeah, you're wrong, but okay. I mean, there's no lie told in that. He has not played that way. And I put a lot of that on Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael.
Yes. No doubt about it. That's why I say, let's go Falcons. Because the rest of us in this division are going, I mean, the Panthers, y'all are already there. You're already in the 7th level of hell, and you're never
You've already gotten to the, hey, we fired our coach point.
Right.
The other two are trying to get there.
Right. Tampa fans and New Orleans fans we should lock arms right now and just refuse to budge the rest of the season. Just let Atlanta have it. Let them move forward with old claymation face, and then you clean house like you should.
Speaking of teams that should be preparing to fire head coaches.
Number 21.
The Washington Commanders. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
You don't know what?
Well, you fired Jack Del Rio after the train wreck that was Thanksgiving. How'd you not fire Ron Rivera? How did you look at him and go, we're going to give you the rest of the year. You get to call the plays now. The excuse that I heard was they didn't trust anybody else to be the coach of this team for the rest of the year. What do you think's going to happen? You think they're going to forget their pants in Washington? Because short of that, you couldn't embarrass yourself any more than you already have. You got beat 45-2 on Thanksgiving. We all saw it. But they have talent, and that's a really attractive job.
Yes.
Really attractive job.
Yes, it is.
Here's Jeremy just being the eternal optimist. I hope Ben Johnson takes that job, and maybe Ben makes a call to his old buddy Jeremy. We need a mullet in Washington that finds some of those 5th-round tight end gems, because you've kind of struggled to draft those over the years.
Look, the Washington Commanders organization has already dealt with enough sexual harassment claims. I don't think they want to bring you in.
I'm married to grown-up Kelly Kapowski. I don't think you have to worry about that out of me.
They would just check your references, and they go, maybe not. Maybe not. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM. And 1400. Take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time to get weird and power rankings trudge on to the top 20.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, I brought back the chilly weather today, and it is going to be very cold tonight, easily the coldest morning Wednesday morning so far this fall. This is going to feel like the middle of winter. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some high single digits in the normally colder areas, but most of us into the teens. Gusty wind this afternoon. Could gust 40-plus in some spots. High near 40. Tonight mainly clear. 16 officially. Sunny tomorrow, 50. For the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Ancestry.com.
What makes Ancestry DNA a great gift for the holidays?
It's literally like you're giving them something they would have no knowledge of, and that's priceless.
Show someone where they came from this holiday season with Ancestry DNA. Now on sale at Ancestry.com.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
'Tis the season
When you're in the mood for holiday music, listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingalls Markets.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get weird. And I thought about putting this in the crime section, but it's just so weird. I had to use it here. This goes to Michigan, where the Ann Arbor Police Department got into an interesting chase the other day that lasted about an hour, and it was one of these low-speed chases. They were chasing somebody who had stolen a forklift. The forklift was stolen by a 12-year-old from outside of his school. So there was a construction zone outside of the school. The kid apparently goes out and he's like poking around the construction site, and he's like opening doors and stuff. And apparently somebody saw him outside of Forsyth Middle School and decided that they needed to call the police because, well, he's not supposed to be doing that, right? Well, he got into the forklift cab, which was left unlocked, and guess what he found inside? The keys were hidden, I don't know, in a visor or under the mat or whatever. Part of me wants to give props to the 12-year-old for figuring out how to operate the forklift in the first place. But, yeah, he went for a little joyride at the low speeds of 15 to 20 miles an hour, led them on a lengthy chase here for about an hour. It wasn't until he crossed over into the next county, in Washtenaw County, when he went across the M14 bridge around 718, that he finally gave up about 20, 30 minutes later, and they took him into custody. He's now, of course, in the juvenile detention center, and who knows what the punishment will be. How stupid do you have to be, though? Just like, here's a 35,000-pound piece of equipment. I'm just going to leave the keys right here. Nobody will take it, right? Nobody's looking for scrap metal or anything these days.
I have our new pandemic.
Uh-oh.
We've had a slew of these over the years. We had the Rona.
Uh-huh.
We had the what were they? The killer bees, murder hornets, murder hornets.
Yeah.
We had a slew of things that were going to eradicate us all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have one coming from Canada. Super pigs.
Super pigs?
Super pigs. Apparently, they are making their way across the Canadian border, and they're apparently very tough to eradicate. So, I'll give you a little backstory because I got really interested in this when I read this story. So, apparently, in the 80s, Canada encouraged farmers to raise wild boar. Well, the market kind of collapsed. I guess people stopped eating pork. I don't know how that market crashes. But in 2001, it basically collapsed. And a bunch of frustrated farmers just cut their fences and let the pigs roam free. Well, here's the problem with these pigs. They have kind of crossbred between the wild Eurasian boar and the domestic swine.
Okay.
And they've become incredibly smart. They're also incredibly fertile. Regular sow can have 6 piglets per litter and 2 litter per year, which means you can kill 65% of the population every single year, and there's still more pigs than when you started. They also don't encourage you to hunt them, because if they start suspecting that something's trying to kill them, they become very wary and nocturnal. So these are basically college children. Follow me on this. They sleep all hours of the day. They'll eat practically anything, and they stay up all night.
Mm-hmm.
This is like trying to eradicate the common 21-year-old.
I feel like we could do it, though.
Apparently, Canada's been trying for a long time and has not succeeded.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's not enough. There's not enough of us invested in this. I mean, obviously, I'm not the hunter, but
yeah.
Let
me just tell you.
I will gladly take all of the fruits of your hunting. If you guys want to go hunting and bring me back some pork, awesome. I'll be right there with you, but I'm not.
Virtually all the things that I want to hunt are illegal, so I don't hunt a lot. Don't ask questions you don't want to know. But I've hunted enough to know that if you decided that you wanted to, wild boar is not what you should start with.
Nah.
That's how we end up with headline that reads, local radio personality mauled by pigs.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it wasn't even the adult ones. They just let the kids have you. Oh, piglet.
Yeah. Well, good luck with your super pig problem. Hopefully it doesn't become more of a problem down here.
Terrifying and tasty.
All at the same time. Mm-hmm. Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. Week 13, number 20 this week.
Oh, gotta get the button. The Green Bay Packers.
Jordan Love's so good, isn't he? 3 touchdown passes. I mean, he's the quarterback of the future. It's what some would want you to believe.
Yep, that's what a lot of Green Bay Packers. There is no more vocal fan base over the last handful of weeks than Green Bay Packer fans are like, see, we told you Jordan Love's fantastic. And there's only but one question that I have for you. Is he, though? Is he really? Because I still don't think he is.
You'll see when he takes down the Chiefs.
Will he, though? Oh, yeah, he had a great game against the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. He was really good against the terrible Pittsburgh secondary because for whatever reason they did not get home. What am I supposed to forget? Am I supposed to forget every other game I saw? The 6 that he had against Detroit the first time? That's supposed to just go out of my head. He had a good game. Yeah, there's another quarterback that does that. What's his name? Baker Mayfield. He does the same thing. You want to sign up for that? Go ahead. Offer him the deal. Give him 4 years. It's going to cost you about $40 million.
Mm-hmm. Not going to do it.
His floor right now would be the Daniel Jones deal. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
There you go. Do you want to sign up for that? Because if you do, do me a favor. Because I'm going to cut this for social media. So all of the Packer fans that think I'm this big idiot that you see something in Jordan Love that I don't. All right, I want you to comment below the video saying, I would give Jordan Love his market value right now. You can disagree with me on what that is. You're wrong, but you can disagree with me all you want to. It's 4 years, $160 million. Tell me you would give him that, and then I'm going to pin every single one of them, and I don't think it'll take a year. It might not take to the end of this season where I can just come back and go, you did the same thing the Giants did. You did the same thing they did. Because that's exactly how it'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he had a good game. Awesome. Anytime you have to tell – I almost look at good games with quarterbacks like those people that have to tell you when they're blocking you on Instagram or on Twitter or something like that. This ain't an airport. I don't need to know about your comings and goings, arrivals and departures. That's at an airport. That's telling me that you know I'm right. You just want to go, oh, gotcha, on the off chance that I'm wrong. I'm not.
Number 19.
No. Sorry, I took so many shots at Green Bay, I forgot to hit my button again. The Indianapolis Colts.
I mean, is this team – yeah, I mean, what are you? What is the plan right now? Are we just holding serve till the end of the season until Anthony Richardson comes back? What are we working on actively for the rest of this season?
Well, make the playoffs because you're in the playoff hunt and you have a schedule that lends itself to you could make it. I mean, you still play Tennessee, you play the Raiders, you play the Falcons, you play the Bengals. The other two are against the Steelers and the Texans. You lose the two games you're supposed to, you're still probably a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
You're still probably a playoff team.
But they'd fall right into the same argument as
No,
Minnesota,
because this team's real young. This team is really young. Got a young quarterback coming back next year. Look at how many of the elements of that roster are under 28 years old.
Mm-hmm.
All of your receivers, both of your running backs. I mean, really, the only old hat on this team is DeForest Buckner. That's it. Would I like to get them a game in the playoffs? Sure. Do I know I'm going to get annihilated? Absolutely I do. But if I can make the playoffs as a team on the upswing, I'll do that. I just don't think Minnesota's that. That's the difference to me.
Okay. All right.
By the way, just a question, and I'm going to do this a couple more times because I really like taking shots at Packer fans because they like taking them at me so much. If you, money's the same, have to win a game right now, would you rather have Jordan Love or Gardner Minshew?
Gardner Minshew.
I agree with you, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
Number 18.
Be doing that with a couple more quarterbacks moving forward. The Los Angeles Chargers. Can you just do me a favor and fire Brandon Staley now before somebody punches him in the face? Did you hear him about Quentin Johnston?
What'd he say?
He got so defensive about, well, we didn't bench him. He was hurt, and we didn't think it would be right to bring him back. And then a reporter went, but he was cleared by the doctors. That's why you have doctors. Why did you make that call? And he got super defensive. He's just look, Brandon Staley is a jackass, okay? That's what he is. That's who he is. He's not going to change. And I'm with Rex Ryan. You should probably go back to D3 where you belong because you are not anything that resembles an NFL head coach. And the fact that the Chargers will not fire you just blows my mind.
Every day I keep thinking, today's going to be the day. Today's going to be the day that this organization is going to change, and they're going to start down the right path, you know? But the only argument I've heard for keeping Brandon Staley on is money. So the Los Angeles Chargers, this is always going to be the case.
But the money argument, you're going to pay him anyway. You're not. I hate when people say that. You're not saving anything by keeping him around. It's not like you promote a guy and all of a sudden, well, now I have to pay you Brandon Staley's money and him too. That's not how these contracts work. You're going to be just fine. Fire him now. Yep. If it's because of money, then you're so broke that you're completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. You're Raider broke. Which
allegedly.
I don't know that I believe that.
Allegedly.
Excuse me. Allegedly. Number 17.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, we talked about this team in the first hour.
Yeah, and we're not going to belabor the point. Hey, you need a quarterback because you don't have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You should be really nice to Kirk Cousins and hope he wants to come back and play with you next year.
Which he does.
No doubt.
Which he does. There's no problem there.
No doubt. And exactly with Kirk, you'll be the 5th best team in the NFC.
Yep.
Yay. And like running like a hamster on a wheel. You're not getting anywhere, but
No,
you get a little exercise in.
No, but you got your quarterback. You continue to develop your receivers, and maybe you draft the heir apparent in 2 years.
You have to crater out to do that. That's exactly what I've been trying to say all day.
Number 16.
The Denver Broncos.
They're in the playoff hunt, firmly in the playoff hunt here. The question is, will they be able to continue it? And I don't know, does the schedule lay out for them too?
They still have 2 with the Lions and Texans. They have 2 with the Patriots. Or they have 1 with the Patriots, 2 with the Chargers, and 1 with the Raiders.
Okay, so the path is there.
The path is there. And guess what? I'm gonna make a bet with you. They'll lose both of those games to the Texans and the Lions. They will lose one of those other 4 games that they're not supposed to, and they'll miss the playoffs.
All because of Russ? Just because you want them to? Why? Why will they do that?
Because what you're doing is not sustainable. This is a sweet little Band-Aid that works against the Cleveland Browns, who could not have scored at a frat party if they brought the beer, against the Buffalo Bills, who I think turned the ball over again on the way home. You've had some really good luck. And look, you're playing better. There's no doubt about that. You're not a threat to anybody, though. You're just not. And if you don't believe me, watch them make the playoffs. Catch a team in the playoffs that's equally yoked in terms of importance of this game, and watch what happens.
Yep. Number 15.
The Las Vegas Raiders. Speaking of the game, I think they'll lose.
To the Raiders.
I don't think Aiden O'Connell's as big of a problem as everybody else seems to make him out to be.
No,
there was a big chat in our YouTube comments the other day about if they had a quarterback, they would have beat Kansas City. I don't necessarily think Aiden O'Connell was what beat them. Defense let them down in the second half. And that was the biggest takeaway. Aiden O'Connell gave you a very nice lead and made some tremendous throws. Jacoby Myers had a huge first half.
Yep. I don't think Aiden O'Connell is a real problem.
I don't either.
I think
now,
he's
your
a
quarterback
fine backup?
Is he your quarterback of the future?
No,
I'm not as ready to say that as.
It's hard for me to imagine, and they're gonna bring somebody else in. Maybe it's a competition thing where we'll give Aiden the opportunity to start for us, but he's not I don't know. You're better at the talent evaluating than I am, but I watch him play and he doesn't pop off the page to me. He's like, yeah, that's a solid starter in this league. Maybe he could be one day, but I don't think if I'm a new coach coming in, I'm taking over this team, I'm not putting all my pennies in the Aiden O'Connell basket.
I'm not sure that you have a better option. That's the problem. I always love when people say that. Awesome. Do you just think quarterbacks fall out of the sky? Because they don't. And this team's not going to be bad enough to pick in the top 10. There are 2 quarterbacks in this draft that you could even convince me are better over the next 2 years than Aiden O'Connell, and they will go number 1 and number 2, and it will cost you a fortune to get up there.
Really? None of the others?
Nope.
No Jaden Daniels, no who else is going in this? Bo Nix, no, none of that. No. None of those guys will be better than Aiden O'Connell.
Not to me.
All right.
At least not from a scouting perspective of I'm playing the averages here.
Yep.
If you play this out 100 times, will they be better than him 10 of them? Sure. And that may be how it goes. That's not a responsible way of doing this.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. What?
There are 2 more teams.
Yeah, but we need to take this break if you want to get another I'm Mad in.
Well, then I guess we're going to have to just blow through it. There's graphics made over here that I can't audible with 3 seconds of.
Number 14, then?
The Seattle Seahawks. We've talked about the difference between the Broncos and the Seahawks right now is not that significant. Seattle has more talent. They both have coaches that are above average in this league. And I don't think you're a threat to absolutely anybody because you have the same quarterback.
Yep.
That's the funniest part of this whole Broncos resurgence to me is that it all happened when Russell Wilson was forced to become the quarterback, that was the reason he forced his way out of Seattle. You did all of these things, made a team give up all of this draft capital to get you, and you became exactly what Pete Carroll was trying to make you.
Mm-hmm.
So, where's that? That's another interesting storyline in the offseason. Does Sean Payton just look at Russell Wilson and go, I'm good. Yeah. I need an actually good quarterback, not a grossly overpaid game manager that's averaging like $160 a game right now.
All right, number 13.
Oh, the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, Jake Browning's not good. I get that. They're still not a terrible team. They played right with Pittsburgh. I mean, I think ESPN had them at like 22 in their power rankings or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They still have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And, I mean, Joe Mixon didn't have the greatest game you've ever seen, but it was they're still exponentially more talented than anybody else.
Yeah. Playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, though, doesn't do
the defense would worry me a little bit. But you also got to understand, we talk about the fired coach bump. There's no way to prepare for that. It's not like Lou Anarumo could go in and go, hey, Kenny Pickett's going to look like an actual real-life, honest-to-God starting quarterback. No, I got 10 games of tape here that says he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so you prepared for them to not do any of those things that they did so well against Cincinnati. So it's a little biased. That's why we call it that. It's because you have absolutely no idea what you're going into.
Right.
This is a play caller I've never seen before. I mean, the only time that Sullivan had ever called plays before was with the Giants, and they were awful. They didn't go deep either. So you got to be careful making too much of that for Pittsburgh or making too much of that for Cincinnati. Now, I make more of it for Pittsburgh than I do Cincinnati because you're the one that actually had something change.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to stay that way? I don't know.
All right, Pittsburgh Steelers coming in, Cincinnati Bengals coming in at number 13. Take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for the top of the hour, and it'll be time to continue with the power rankings. We get into the top 12 next.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Ingalls Advantage isn't just about savings or the best quality food for your family. It's more than that. It's the advantage of being a part of a community. That's why we provide over 2 million pounds of food every year through regular donations and programs like the Ingalls Giving Tree, Food for Thought, and the Ingalls Fill a Backpack program. It's the right thing to do, and we know that you would do the same. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
Boost Infinite's new wireless technology switches between networks, giving you the best service at a lower price. Switch today. Call 855-55-BOOST, visit boostinfinite.com, or go to amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15.
This holiday season, find all kinds of deals at Target. Discover sweet deals on toys and small appliances, big deals on clothing and beauty, plus so much more. At Target, get what you need for the holidays. Find new deals each week for everyone on your list, and get it all fast with free Drive Up. Score low prices and great deals all season long. Now at Target. Exclusions apply.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning has extended their Black Friday sale. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. Plus, if you call and mention ESPN Asheville, you'll get a free hallway cleaning. Schedule today at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Hear that?
That's the sound of new digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Now you can play right from your phone and win real cash prizes. It may all sound new, but winning, oh yeah, big money, is as thrilling as ever. Register to play digital instants for a whole new way to win. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
With Black Friday savings all month long at the Home Depot, you get all the jingle bells and whistles you could wish for with LG appliances. With America's most reliable line of appliances per independent consumer study, you can take holiday doing to holiday done and always be ready to handle last-minute holiday guests. Final days to save up to $900 on select laundry sets, including top brands like LG, with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Ends November 29th.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, I brought back the chilly weather today, and it is going to be very cold tonight, easily the coldest morning Wednesday morning so far this fall. This is going to feel like the middle of winter. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some high single digits in the normally colder areas, but most of us into the teens. Gusty wind this afternoon. Could gust 40-plus in some spots. High near 40. Tonight mainly clear. 16 officially. Sunny tomorrow, 50. For the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
What I was told was bone on bone. I was going to have knee replacement, and I do not like surgery.
Desperate to avoid surgery, Julie decided to check out QC Kinetics non-surgical regenerative treatments.
My daughter actually works in a Chapel Hill, North Carolina lab, and I sent her all of the information that I was given, and she's like, "Oh, Mom, this is for you. I've heard great things about this." She's like, "You need to try it before ever doing surgery."
Julie started the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments right in the office, using her own healing properties to help restore her damaged tissue.
I know, my daughter was right. Yeah, it's nice when you've got that person you can go to who might have a little bit more information, especially on the science of it. QC Kinetics, it's life-changing.
Find out if you're a good candidate. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
We are back in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, coming to you from the Ingalls Studio. It is Week 13, Power Rankings Day, Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. We've given you 32 through 13. Now it's time to talk about the top 12, which I still don't feel like we're to a good place yet. Where there's actually a good team here.
Depends on what your definition of good is.
I mean, if your definition of good is, they might make the playoffs, then yeah, we're right in the thick of it. Yeah, if you're talking about teams that, I don't know, just have hope to compete for anything, like a championship of any kind.
No.
We're not there.
We haven't hit a team that could win a playoff game yet.
No. Number 12.
This is where it starts to get, maybe you could win a game in the playoffs. Because I'm not real sure how you got here, but you did. Mm-hmm. The Pittsburgh Steelers. If that offense is what you're going to give me for the rest of the year, okay. That's a little different because you can force people. The thing about Pittsburgh is their secondary is so bad that if you leave open the option for play action, you leave open the option for misdirection, things like that, then you can get absolutely gashed. The problem is that what you saw from Cincinnati is they got into a point where they had to throw because Pittsburgh was forcing them. If you're going to beat us, it will be with Jake Browning.
Mm-hmm.
And when they can do that, they're very, very good. I don't know how many teams you can do that to because I'm not sure if that offense is sustainable. Now, that's the negative. The positive is you get that Bengals team again. You still play the Patriots, play the Arizona Cardinals. You play the Colts, who I think you are better than. And then you get the Seahawks and the Ravens, of which the Ravens owe you one. And I don't need to know what the line is in that game. I'll take Baltimore for anything you want.
They owe them one for what?
No, because you stole a game from them in Pittsburgh. Absolutely stole it from them. You did nothing to win that game, and you found a way to beat them.
Uh-huh.
And they are light years better than you. Oh, and that game's in Baltimore. How many other narratives you need?
Yeah. I can.
And the line will be light because they always are. But if Kenny Pickett can press the ball down the field that way, Najee Harris looked like he looked like a different person. Now, and I'm not trying to be negative here, but it would bother me if Matt Canada was enough to make Najee Harris look that bad. You need to get your head right. Because if your offensive coordinator's driving you that crazy, you're not the franchise running back.
But nothing changed in the scheme.
Some of the scheme changed, but I'm not talking about how he was used. I'm talking about how he looked. He looked a full second faster in the 40. I mean, there was a time where I wasn't sure Najee Harris could break 5 seconds in 40. Mm-hmm. He looked slow and plodding and indecisive. He didn't look that way last week. Now
look, that can mean a lot to a guy, right? You get that mental block out of your way, maybe that matters. Look, there are a lot of there are a lot of divas, right, in this league that can play that way. Unfortunately, it seems to be some of the Pittsburgh Steelers might have their bigger share of that than other teams because, I mean, Deontay Johnson, we talked about that play yesterday on the fumble where he just didn't even act like he wanted to be on the field. That becomes
well, and
a
it's
problem.
also biased because he may have not thought that he was down. No, you should still jump on it when you see ball out there. I get it, but it looks bad in the vacuum. Deontay Johnson's also a head case, so it doesn't surprise me in the least.
Right. How about number 11?
The Buffalo Bills. I'm sure Matt's not going to love this. He thinks the Denver Broncos are better than every one of these teams. They're not, but we beat Buffalo. Yeah, and the Green Bay Packers just beat the Detroit Lions. I'm not putting them ahead of them either.
They're not better than they are either.
But we love Matt. Matt's good peoples.
And we all love the passion for your team.
No doubt.
No doubt about it. Just, sometimes you got to be a little more level-headed about it. The Buffalo Bills, I mean, that was the game I wanted to see, right? I wanted to see Josh Allen have a big game in a big situation.
What'd that change?
It didn't
with the
change
Buffalo Bills,
much.
what'd it change?
It didn't change much.
So, walk me through this, Buffalo Bill fans, because I know I'm going to get railed for having them this low. Well, we just played with the Philadelphia Eagles, but you lost. Mm-hmm. So what did you see that you didn't know you could do? You didn't know Josh Allen could be a top 3 in the NFL dynamic quarterback? You didn't know that.
Yeah, they knew that.
You didn't know that defensively you could create enough havoc up front to make a quarterback who's not an elite thrower of the football look mediocre in a rainstorm. None of this changed. That's exactly who the Buffalo Bills are. Brian Haynes was literally sitting right next to me for this entire game, and I swear to you, I called it out like I'd gotten the script before the game happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Buffalo covered like I said they would. As soon as that hook went up, I told you that when we picked the games. As soon as I saw that hook, I went, mine, in. Now, I didn't expect overtime. I thought that was going to happen at the end of regulation.
Right.
But none of it surprises me. I mean, do I think this offense is drastically different with Joe Brady than it was with Ken Dorsey? Not really. I think it's better.
Mm-hmm.
But could they also fall on their face? No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt they could.
They absolutely could. But does it not give you more hope that maybe there's a rhythm coming here? That there's
because this is the same team that never picks up a rhythm ever. They do this every single year. They play down to bad teams. They play up against good teams. It's been the narrative of the Buffalo Bills for 4 solid years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not looked at the games next week. I could not tell you who they play.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Well, they're off this week, but then they get the Chiefs after that.
And coming off a bye week, they'll either play directly with or beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And everybody will lose their minds and go, oh, Buffalo!
They'll play with them. They won't beat them. Not in Arrowhead.
I'm not 100% sure I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the Cowboys after that.
And that's where they'll get the just brains bashed out of their head.
Yep. And then Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins.
And they'll beat the Dolphins.
And that gets rough. It's a rough schedule. But, look, if I was going to have any faith that you might be able to figure out something, you might be able to make a run at the end of this season, that was the game that I needed to see. And so I see why everybody is a little more upbeat about the Bills.
I don't.
Number 10.
I see why they're just aggressively angry at the officials, and you should be. Also, not surprised how that ended in the least.
Number 10.
The Houston Texans. What does this team have to do for people to understand that they're actually really, really good? No, they're young, and you're going to get into a game with Jacksonville just like you just did, and it's you got to learn how to win. They had opportunities to win that game. They didn't do it. Does that mean they're not a fantastic, overachieving, super talented team? No, they are. I want to ask you a question because I've asked you this before, but I've given you a few weeks now to think about it from the first time I asked it. If you had a do-over and you're starting an NFL franchise and you could have Trevor Lawrence or C.J. Stroud, which one do you want?
Oh, it'd be C.J.
I agree with you, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
Yeah. Still C.J.
I'm not sure it's all that close.
Incredibly talented, but you have to factor in that you're going to have to pay him sooner. And
I only nominally care about that. When it comes to quarterbacks, I don't really care how much you make. If you're elite, you can tell me they're $100 million. You're worth every cent of it.
But I have more. I have more faith that CJ is going to be elite at some point than I would in Trevor.
I understand what you're saying. Right now, they're both top 10 in the NFL quarterbacks. So the only point I was trying to make is that I really don't care with the money.
But I don't know that CJ's going to be better. At this point,
I think he's already better. That's where I was getting with this. Is I think he's already better, and let me explain to you why. What is it that we have always wanted to see from Trevor Lawrence? I've wanted to see you take over games and be that elite, no doubt prospect that can win games for your team in spite of deficiencies of others. Never seen him do it. People will reference the playoff game. The Chargers handed you. All he did was take advantage of the Chargers' inefficiencies and their inability to run the ball. He was great in that half. He's also the reason that you were in that situation in the first place. I don't see that with C.J. Stroud. This would also be a good time to point out who number 9 is. Do your thing.
Number 9.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. That's why I was going to do them together, and I forgot that until I looked on the other screen. I think these two teams are so close that it's pathetic. And it's entirely possible that Jacksonville is going to be the 1 seed in the AFC and Houston doesn't make the playoffs. That's on the table because you've got teams in Denver and Indianapolis that have just cakewalk schedules coming down the stretch. And, I mean, Houston's is not that daunting.
It's not really at all. I mean, depending on how you feel about those Broncos and those Colts, you got to play them. But you got the Browns, you got the Titans.
You're saying the Browns like that's a layup. The minute that they said, hey, Myles Garrett's day-to-day, I thought he was done for the year. With Myles Garrett, I don't care who's playing quarterback. You score 17 points on them, you were incredibly lucky. unless they have another offensive week like they just had against Denver.
Exactly.
Cleveland can't get behind.
No, and I said this last week, and I'll say it again. I still put the Browns and the Jets in that same category of you can play great defense.
There's a huge
but
difference.
You can't. I mean, I'm not trusting that offense to
There's
score against anybody.
Huge difference between those two. One of them can move the ball. Nobody's like the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll just save that comparison with any team in the NFL. That's the worst offense in NFL history, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland doesn't have that problem. They have to stay balanced. You cannot put it all on Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You can't put it all on P.J. Walker. But even with teams knowing that they're trying to run, they can still do it. The Jets can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
New England can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Many of these teams that have good defenses, bad offenses can't do that. Cleveland can.
Mm-hmm. But I still don't feel like you can do it at a level where you're going to be able to beat somebody who can score, somebody who like a Kansas City or even a Buffalo or
I'd
teams
take
like
Cleveland
that.
against Buffalo in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think about it. Josh Allen turned the ball over 5 times against Cleveland
Mm-hmm.
because they just create havoc. But that's not really the point of what we were talking about here. This is why we talk about schedules so much in the preseason, is that Jacksonville, they took care of business in large part. Yeah, they lost a game to Houston early on that we didn't expect. Other than that, they're 8-3. They're 5-0 on the road. And there's not many games left on that schedule that I think are losable for them. I mean, they play that same Cleveland team, and I do think that's a losable game.
Mm-hmm.
They play Baltimore. The other 4, no shot. Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tennessee Titans, Cleveland, or Cincinnati Bengals. No shot they lose it. Any of the 4 of those. So for Houston, you'd have to win out for a shot at the division. That's why this last game was so important. And they just don't know how to win yet. That's not a slight. You've got a head coach that just coached his 11th game of his life. You got a quarterback that just played his 11th game in the NFL. You've got a slew of young talent that is not used to being here. But I think it was Eric Miller that said this to me. You talk about preseason hype. You have never seen a hype train the likes of what you're going to get of the Houston Texans going into next year. Never. You will. The Detroit Lions are the only thing in the ballpark of it. And C.J. Stroud is light years better than Jared Goff. Just probably not going to go your way this year. The hope is if you're Houston that you can win all the games that you're supposed to, you get a little help, and you slide into the playoffs. But if you don't, this should still be considered the good Lord, it's probably the greatest overachieving year I've ever seen.
Yes, absolutely. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Power Rankings continue. Power Rankings Tuesday continues after this.
Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Market, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation, which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it. When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the party, less is more, so roll it back, everybody. Roll it back. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always soft. It's our party vibe. She's cushion so our cheeks feel flat. So everybody wanna touch the sky. Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
ESPN Asheville on a Power Rankings Tuesday. You can follow the Sportsocracy at the Sportsocracy on all of the social media. See the best of our highlight clips out on the socials each and every evening as Jeremy gets those out for all of the social discussion.
Great chance I'll be farming those out soon.
Yeah.
I'm tired of staring at my computer screen. Me and this, I'm like melted to this chair. It is hot as blue blazes in here.
It is. The temperature is rising as the hours go by here. So thankfully, we're in the last one. I'm going to roll up the sleeves for this one. We're up to number 8 in this week's Power Rankings.
The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. You can still play defense, and Myles Garrett, he is a game changer. He makes a difference in a game.
It's still a historic level defense.
No doubt about it. Look,
by the way, you do realize that 4 of their remaining games, they play the Bears, Jets, Rams, and Bengals. Just throwing that out there. Mm-hmm. The other 2 are against those 2 teams we were just talking about, which is, I'm not going to lie to you, that was my tiebreaker. I really struggled with who to put 8, 9, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, oh, wait, Cleveland plays both of you. And I think they would beat you right now because I don't trust either one of not that either one of those quarterbacks have historic meltdown games, but you're going to have to beat them. And look, Sunday was awful. Greg Newsome got beat like a kettle drum repeatedly. The only thing is that's not what 10 games of tape told me. So that was really more aberration than it was anything.
Mm-hmm.
And look, guys have bad days. I'm not ready to throw Cleveland out with the bathwater yet. Do I think they can win a Super Bowl? No. With Deshaun Watson, we could have talked about it if he kept accelerating as the season went on.
Yep.
You're not going to do that with Dorian Thompson-Robinson or with P.J. Walker. But that defense is still really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really, really good.
Yep. And they are on par with all of the teams that are right here together. No doubt about it. But I feel like if there's any team that was going to make a run, I would take the Jaguars or the Texans over the Browns at this point.
2 to 53,
because
who's
the
better?
offense is so limited.
2 to 53, who's better? Take quarterback out of it.
Oh, well, it's Cleveland.
Wouldn't even debate it.
Yeah.
It's not even debatable.
Yeah.
Look,
but that's how much a quarterback matters, right?
It does, but I want got to give me a little platitude here because I want to go on a bit of a tangent.
Okay.
This is one of those things that really makes me laugh. Okay? Yes, the difference from a Pat Mahomes to a good Josh Allen to Jalen Hurts to Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud. There are a couple more in there, but not always. The difference of those guys to Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bigger difference there than there is from Dak Prescott to Aiden O'Connell.
Really?
110%. If you don't believe me, go check the Vegas Power Rankings. They put it out there every single week. As a matter of fact, it is Tuesday, so let me check the old email box and see if I've got that. If not, I'll use last week's.
Right. This is the list that gives you a point spread for what the quarterback's worth?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I thought that's where you were going with
Let me see. Okay, I don't have the one for this week. How many points is Pat Mahomes worth? And now, just for explanation, this is if they're playing, this is what they are worth to the point spread.
9.5.
7.5.
Okay.
That's the most of any player in the league. It's not even close.
Okay.
Give me any of those mid-tier quarterbacks.
Jared Goff.
3. There's 4.5 points different between Pat Mahomes and Jared Goff. Now name me a bad quarterback.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is worth 0.5 point. There's 2.5 points different in Jared Goff and Mac Jones. Think about what I just said. You put them on the same team, that's what it's worth.
Ugh.
People make way too much out of mediocre quarterbacks. That's kind of what I'm saying about Denver. That's what I've said about Cleveland. Because is Dorian Thompson-Robinson an elite quarterback? No, good God, no. Especially after he started looking out his ear hole after, I can't remember who that was that hit him, but somebody hit him. And I laughed real hard because I saw it coming for an extended period of time. I was sitting there the whole time going, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it. Oh, God, they shouldn't have shown that on television. The difference between them is just it's not that huge. You make way too much out of Russell Wilson or let me just look up and down the list. Baker Mayfield or Justin Fields or even Sam Howell. Kyler Murray, who a lot of people think is a great quarterback. He's worth 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
He's worth 3 points. Him and Clayton Tune are 3 points different because I don't remember the last net negative I saw. It's happened. Tim Boyle is not a net negative right now.
Wasn't Zach Wilson
Think
one
about what I
last
just
year?
said. I don't think he ever got to net negative, but he might have. He threw a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, I thought there was a moment where he went like -1.5 or something. But I could be wrong on that. Okay. I mean, look, Vegas is obviously better at this than I am. So
And Silver in our YouTube comment said, I'm only here for the Jags Lawrence hate, which is fine. It's coming from a Jets fan. A, for the 400th time, who I like does not matter to my evaluation of a quarterback. That's A. B is it's not hate on Trevor Lawrence. It's not. He's just at the head of that mid-tier. He's not elite. That's the only thing I've ever said.
Mm-hmm.
Gets blown out of proportion because I say it in a very specific way to incite a response because that's what I do. That's the point. Is that Pat Mahomes could play with virtually any team in the league. Guess what? They're going to be a favorite over you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is. But once you get past that, it's not as big a deal as everybody makes it out to be. I'm just curious to see how close to this you can get. Let me pull this back up. How many quarterbacks in the NFL do you think are worth more than 4 points? Wait till you hear the list that are at 4.
7.
You're way too high. Justin Herbert's 5.5. Trevor Lawrence is 4.5. Josh Allen is 7. Lamar Jackson is 5. Pat Mahomes is 7.5. Jalen Hurts is 5.5.
So 6.
I guess that is 6.
Yeah.
You said 7, and I went, that's way too many. And then I scrolled the old screen back up and went, oh, yeah, all the good ones are way up there.
There's a couple more.
Dak Prescott's 4. Tua Tagovailoa is 4. Geno Smith's 2. That's the point.
Mm-hmm. What's DTR?
Half.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, there is less of a difference between Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Russell Wilson, who's a 2, or Jared Goff, than there is from Jared Goff to Josh Allen, or than there is from Jared Goff to Pat Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. There are 3 tiers here. You're either god-awful at quarterback, which a lot of you are.
Mm-hmm.
You got one of those guys in the mid-tier.
Which Cleveland would
or you're
fall
elite.
into, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But their defense is that good.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets, their offense is not nearly as good as Cleveland's. That's why they're such a disaster, because they can't do anything.
Absolutely.
Cleveland can stay on pace and still be a really tough team to beat. The Jets, all I have to do is sit around and wait for you to kill yourself. That's it. I just have to not shoot myself in the foot and wait for you to do it yourself.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 7.
The Detroit Lions. Man, Thanksgiving was fun, wasn't it?
Hey, look, every team has a bad week, right? It's going to happen at some point. Do you come away from watching them lose to the Green Bay Packers, from digging themselves in a hole so early that they couldn't get out of it? Do you just bail on them because of that? No. They're 8-3, and I made a joke last week doing the sports over on 570 that the Lions had not fallen apart yet. And then they had the Green Bay game. I'm not saying that they're going to fall apart completely, but you knew this had to come at some point, that a team that's not so used to being the top dogs was going to have a game where they just kind of booted one. And
that's exactly what they did.
They booted one against the
They were down
Green Bay
20-6 in the
Packers.
first quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, and just ask yourself this question. If that game was 1 quarter longer, would you bet your house on Detroit to win it?
Absolutely.
So would I.
I was ready to say that they would come back in regulation, and then just by the minutes, you knew time was getting lower and lower and lower, and the chances were. But even when they had 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, I thought this is still possible.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers are this bad that they can let this go. But that's my thing with Detroit, is they can't continue to do this. They can't continue to get behind and expect to come back in all their games.
Well, the thing about Detroit is that it's the same thing I said about Houston. You got to learn how to win.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, they were good last year. They weren't great. They didn't make the playoffs. They went on a nice run towards the end. That's half a season.
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority of players on this team have been losers their entire career. So how you deal with success is a pretty big element of this. And look, Detroit, it's a young team playing a game on Thanksgiving, which many of them had never done before, and you got punched in the jejunum in the first quarter because you had a scrappy little team that they came in with a fake Amon-Ra St. Brown quote.
Yeah.
Which is still one of the funniest stories I've heard.
What was it?
They billboarded a fake quote from Amon-Ra St. Brown that he never said.
Oh.
And they all went, yeah, screw that guy. We're going to go punch him in the mouth. Well, yeah, except for that was made up. Like, you work to check your sources on things.
Am I off base here, though, by getting concerned about first half Jared Goff? Because he was terrible in the first half against Chicago. And he was bad again in the first half against Green Bay. And that's what has dug you into these holes, that you had to have the 17.3-minute comeback to beat the Bears, and you had to try to cobble together a 3-point or a 3-touchdown deficit against the Packers this past week.
Part of me wants to say no, but I'm not saying no because you shouldn't be worried about that. I'm more to you should be worried about Jared Goff, period. Because good Jared Goff, he's only shown up one time in the last 5 weeks, and that was against the Chargers, and they make everybody look good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that would concern me a little bit, is are we starting to get tape on Jared Goff in this system, and now it's not quite – because, look, their weapons – we've talked about this. When you really boil this down, their weapons are not that impressive. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown and a bunch of dudes. Because Jamison Williams, He reminds me so much of Johnny Lamb Jones sometimes that it makes me want to puke. He was a jet that they took at 2. Mm-hmm. He was an Olympic sprinter. Mm-hmm. The only problem is he was real fast. He didn't catch so good. And by he didn't catch so good, I mean he couldn't catch squat.
Now, didn't Jameson make a couple of good plays this past week? I was in and out, so I just vaguely remember thinking that he had a couple of big plays.
He had a couple catches in that game.
And you want a young guy to, get better, and I think maybe he's getting better. That's the best I got, right? He didn't come in and set the world on fire.
He had a
like
38-yard catch.
That was it? Just one?
Okay. I mean, he had another 13-yard catch, but I'm not sure that really deserved to be mentioned.
Well, if that was,
Considering Josh Reynolds did too, so. But, I mean, it's kind of my point. You're saying leading receiver's your punt returner.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're super dynamic here. So if teams can figure out how to shut down Amon-Ra St. Brown, which, by the way, Green Bay didn't and nobody's going to, you get outside of that, and yes, you have Laporta, and yes, you have Jahmyr Gibbs. The thing that would concern me more, why do you keep running David Montgomery? What is your obsession with him?
He's not bad.
He's not good either.
He's not bad.
Jahmyr Gibbs is an electric running back. David Montgomery is not that. If you give him the ball 500 times, eventually something good will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened against the Green Bay Packers. Stop with David Montgomery. Stop it!
Your hatred for him is
It's not a hatred.
Thick.
It's okay. Let me, just the best way I can explain. It's not hatred. Every time I say something negative about somebody, it's hatred.
Hate.
If you had a Maserati in your driveway and an old rusty old pickup truck Ford F-150, the bottom was rusted out, and I was afraid you were going to stop it like Fred Flintstone, and you drove the ladder to work every day, eventually I'd go, but then why did you buy the Maserati? You spent quite a bit. And it just sits in the driveway and collects dust.
Because we only bring out the Maserati for the date nights, right?
Well,
we only
I guess
bring it
you
out
should
to
have
go
had
out
a date
to
against
dinner.
Green Bay because
No. See,
hokey-pokey David Montgomery wasn't good enough.
No, that's your lunch pail game, right? You bring out he is the beater truck. That's what David Montgomery is. He's the beater truck that you drive to work every day on the construction site, because I'm not taking the Maserati to the construction site. I'm taking David Montgomery. I'm saving Jahmyr Gibbs for the flashy moments, right? The moments that I want to show off.
Pennywise updated the list of players that I hate. Trevor Lawrence, that's not true.
Uh-huh.
David Montgomery, that's 100% true.
Bingo.
Taysom Hill, that's 200% true. Alan Lazard, that's 500% true. Russell Wilson, it's not hate. I don't get it, and I think you're a dork. And Zach Wilson, yes, that is correct. That's an appropriate list. Even with one miss, I think that's still an appropriate list.
It is. He did very well.
100%.
But anyway,
I don't have a bell or a there it is.
What happened to your bell?
I don't know. I got a lot of stuff over here. All right. I don't know if you checked out our streams lately, but keep adding stuff. It requires more bandwidth, more power, and more screens and more stuff. And I don't know. I found a 10 Altoids earlier. I haven't bought a 10 Altoids since like 1998. They were still good.
You're in the Sportsocracy.
I ate like 8 of them.
This is the ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Week 13 Power Rankings will conclude after this, as well as, we got the most important message of the day coming your way, too.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, I brought back the chilly weather today, and it is going to be very cold tonight, easily the coldest morning Wednesday morning so far this fall. This is going to feel like the middle of winter. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some high single digits in the normally colder areas, but most of us into the teens. Gusty wind this afternoon. Could gust 40-plus in some spots, high near 40. Tonight, mainly clear. 16 officially, sunny tomorrow, 50. For the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you like using debit over credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning has extended their Black Friday sale. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. Plus, if you call and mention ESPN Asheville, you'll get a free hallway cleaning. Schedule today at zeroresasheville.com.
So I have been in the operating room most of my career, watching people have orthopedic surgery, watching people get knees replaced, hips replaced, shoulders fixed, and I knew there had to be a better way.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain relief.
I see so many people who could have been helped before they got to the operating room if only they had known about regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, a natural alternative that uses your body's own healing properties to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing long-lasting relief without drugs, surgery, or downtime.
Well, it feels great when I do get to see somebody who we help, who I know I kept out of the operating room. It's amazing how we change people's lives without surgery.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer. It is the Sportsocracy, and it's time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Yeah, it seems very easy, very simple rule to live by, but
it is a very simple rule to live by.
For some reason, people just can't get it through their heads that is the proper way to live.
Well, that's because, it's the reason we have a term of endearment here. What, you stupid?
Let's go to Stupid Criminal of the Day. For me, Evansville police. This is in Kentucky, and Evansville police arrested a man the other day in a traffic stop as he was pulled over for a dim license plate. One of the passengers in the car was Christopher Boyd Jr., 32 years old. And while police were searching Boyd, they found a small bag with multiple pills in his right sock. There were blue pills and there were white pills. And they asked him, "Hey, what's with the pills?" And he said, "Well, these are my mom's, my aunt's. These are my aunt's, and she gave them to me because I have a bullet lodged in my spine."
Well, based on my knowledge of pharmaceuticals, if your aunt gave you blue pills and she takes them herself, she might be your uncle.
He said, "I think
only know one blue pill.
I think they're Percocets." And they were like, "Okay, well, we still need to continue the search here because, well, we've already found some drugs on you, so we're just going to keep it going." It was at one point where, they decided, okay, we're gonna take you in because you're acting real weird. Because he's walking with a limp, and they're trying to search him, and they're like, "Are you sure you're okay?" He's like, "It's the bullet injury, right? I'm limping because I got the bullet injury." Well, they got him over to process him at the jail, right, or at the intake, and the limp was getting even worse. And they decided, well, there's something wrong here, so we ran him through the old scanner, the old metal detector. Would you like to guess what they found, Jeremy?
I have no idea.
What's the matter? What are you laughing at?
Somebody in the comments said you look like the glove from the hamburger helper box.
The glove from the hamburger helper box?
Oh, that's oh boy. If you hadn't asked me a question, I could literally have gotten through that without laughing.
That's a new one.
Anytime I have my hand over my face, you should probably not ask me questions because I'm going to laugh.
Anywho, one guess why he was walking all weird, Jeremy.
Do you have something in his keister? Because
bingo.
That's what I thought from the beginning of the story.
Was
it the hamburger helper glove?
It was not the hamburger helper glove. However, you definitely need a glove, probably, to retrieve. They found 2 bags of a leafy substance in there, along with a handgun. Now, you want to explain to me how... Actually, don't explain it to me. I don't want to know how you get an entire handgun up there. But yeah, he didn't have a bullet in his spine. He had the entire gun lodged against his spine because it was in the old wallet. And the question I have, though, is why do you play these games? Why do you think, all right, you've already gotten caught. You think you're going to get processed into the jail and still have that in there? I mean, I guess it's happened before, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they're going to find it. And you should probably be upfront about that information in the first place. Because it does say at one point he was, quote unquote, lowered to the ground to remove the items. I don't think he was lowered to the ground, quote unquote. I feel like that was a little rougher than he wanted it to be.
I'm trying to figure out a way to say this delicately, and I don't have one, so name's on the door, I'm just going to say it.
Yikes.
Fellers, if you ever need an example of where there's a will, there's a way, Tank just gave you one. My story.
Oh, God.
My story is about a robbery that happened in a tobacco shop in Queens, September 14th of 2022. 3 masked assailants went into a tobacco shop, and they robbed it. All 3 caught on surveillance, but they were wearing masks. One of them, however, had his breeches low, and it revealed that he was wearing a pair of undergarments that were brightly colored and had a large letter R in white, along with the year 1990 in yellow. Well, this crime went unsolved for roughly a year until that photo was disseminated again. And a tipster went, hey, I recognize those panty drawers. They belong to this feller I follow on the Instagram. And they sent that to the police. It was him. It was him. He was identified by his panty drawers. You want to know the number one reason not to show your underoos to people? Boom. Crimes. After they figured out that well, we got at least the same pair of undergarments. They tracked some movements and realized that this guy had tried to sell the products that he stole from the tobacco shop at another tobacco shop. And don't post your panty drawers on the Instaface. If you're going to do that, reserve that for OnlyFans because there's a paywall there.
Okay. All right.
Make them laugh. Make them laugh.
I guess this comes to the point where I have to confirm I do kind of look like the hamburger helper.
100%. That's why you think I laugh so hard.
I had to look it up, and I went, oh, yeah.
If he'd have said you look like Tina Turner, I wouldn't have found that so funny.
I'll be damned.
He said you look like that. Because I imagined it in my head, and I laughed a bunch.
Thanks.
Whole bunch.
Thanks for that.
We should probably take a break here.
Yeah.
Because we got 6, because we've done that thing that we do where we talk about the poop teams too much, and now we have to quickly get through the good ones.
Well, we had to talk about the poop gun for too long, I guess. I don't know.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on power tools, automotive jacks and stands, and portable inverter generators this holiday season. Save in store or at northerntool.com.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
Hear that? That's the sound of new digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Now you can play right from your phone and win real cash prizes. It may all sound new, but winning, oh yeah, big money, is as thrilling as ever. Register to play digital instants for a whole new way to win. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
With Black Friday savings all month long at the Home Depot, you get all the jingle bells and whistles you could wish for with LG appliances. With America's most reliable line of appliances per independent consumer study, you can take holiday doing to holiday done and always be ready to handle last-minute holiday guests. Final days to save up to $900 on select laundry sets, including top brands like LG, with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Ends November 29th.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Power Rankings Tuesday, coming to a close here, but we still got to talk about the best teams in the league. Number 6.
The Dallas Cowboys.
No faith that this team is. You said earlier in the program that there were 4 teams. Dallas is on the outside looking in for you. There's a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Correct.
No hope.
Dakota Prescott Jr. I'm out. But he's playing his best football ever. Yeah, that's kind of my point. I mean, look, this team is good. I believed in this team before the year. And Deron Bland has been a very good second corner. I do have to point this out, though. For you to have 5 pick sixes in a year, you're having to get thrown at quite a bit. I just don't know that you can go into the playoffs and win 3 games because you're going to have to. You're not winning this division. Philadelphia's already got that sewn up.
Yep.
They're not going to fall apart. The back end of the schedule is too bad. And if they had home field, I might feel different because I do think they're good. And I think this is where they belong. It's roughly where I had them at the beginning of the year. And they're super talented. But between Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy, I feel like one of you is going to boo-boo kitty in a really important position, and that's when you get beat.
Yeah.
I have moved you in front of the Lions, though, that's new.
I was getting ready to say best game of the year, though, is coming up on December the 30th. Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions. I feel like we're going to learn something about one of those teams.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
to press for the NFC title.
I thought you were talking about Dallas Cowboys and the team we have at number 5.
Oh, the
Miami Dolphins. What happens when two teams that never beat good teams play each other?
Now, see, that's Christmas Eve. That's the week before the Lions game.
That has tie written all over it. That'd be the funny. If those two play each other, it's a 38-38 tie. Like, well, we're both good, but neither one of us beat anybody that's good, so we couldn't beat each other.
See, I think I give the advantage to Dallas on that one because I think their defense is better.
I will tell you when we get there. That's a long way away.
Okay. I'm just saying right now on a neutral field, you give just a little bit of an edge to Miami because of the receivers.
The offense in general.
Yeah.
I like Tua slightly better than I like Dak Prescott. But, I mean, I've seen things with Tua that are alarming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, the Hail Mary reversed the fact that Tua Tagovailoa tried his best to keep the New York Jets in that game. He threw 2 interceptions inside the 2-minute warning.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them just so happened to come back for a touchdown, which is the only way the Jets can score. Jets defense 6, Jets offense 0. And that does worry me. I kind of view Miami and Dallas the same way. You're really talented.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not so sure that I believe in your coach, and I'm definitely sure I don't believe in your quarterback to the highest of high sides.
Right.
But you're right there.
All right, top 4. Number 4.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Few teams in this league can beat them.
Their good is as good as anybody's.
No doubt.
And I come back to I'm going to have to see it to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think it's going to come down to San Francisco and Philadelphia in the NFC, and you're going to have to go in Philadelphia and beat them. And I'm not sure you can do it.
Yeah.
You have the talent to do it. There's no doubt about that. You have the talent to
I
do
think
it.
the thing it's going to come down to is the quarterback.
No doubt.
And Jalen Hurts, I will take him every day of the week, twice on Sundays when it comes to Brock Purdy.
I don't disagree with you. And that's the difference to me. San Francisco's defense is better.
I mean, yeah, and Jalen Hurts, if he has a really bad game, then San Francisco could snake a win there. But it's going to
you mean like the first 3 quarters he had against Buffalo?
Yeah. But then it's going to, it's got to be out of Brock's hands. Brock's not going to win you that game, is what I'm saying. Number 3.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Man, it'd be great if you had somebody to catch passes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I keep coming back to with Kansas City is I feel like that's going to burn you in a big situation. You have the best coach in the league. You have the best quarterback in the league. I almost feel like the Kansas City Chiefs, it's like playing Monopoly with somebody that has that whole last side of the board of, man, I got to get real lucky to beat you.
Yep.
Because I got to keep going around the board. I can't go to jail every single time I go around the board.
You got to hope to land on that tax space.
Or community chest.
Yeah.
But I think it's more possible now than I've thought in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes, MVS gets open, but he can't catch. By the way, if you haven't seen the compilation of MVS touchdown drops, you should Google that because it's real funny and it's got Enya playing in the background.
Yeah. Can this team win with Travis Kelce and maybe Rashee Rice?
Rashee Rice has stepped
taking
up.
That step?
He's going to have drop problems his entire career. That was the big knock on him coming out, was that his hands left a lot to be desired. But and Chiefs Nation UK said it best. I said at the beginning of the year when we got rid of Juju, we should have gotten a replacement. That's what I feel like they're missing is that sure-handed third down guy that's not Travis Kelce to take a little heat off him. Because on third down, everybody in the building knows where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pacheco can be that as a running back, and McKinnon can be that also out of the backfield. I'm shocked they don't use the two of them back there more. But Andy Reid's the mad scientist, not me.
I was going to say that I guess this is not his way anymore.
Well, if there's a solution to be found, Andy Reid will find it.
I mean, Jerick McKinnon was used really well in that aspect last year. It hadn't been this year for some reason.
And then we'll do 1 and 2 together because I feel like we're on a bit of a collision course for this.
Hashtag birds are real. Number 1, number 2.
The Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Baltimore number 1, Philadelphia number 2.
I feel like at this point the Super Bowl is Baltimore's to lose.
Okay.
I think they're the best team in the league barring injuries, they are the team that I would not want to have to face because they don't have to play well to beat you. Zay Flowers is coming on. I feel like they can throw it over the top where they've struggled to do that in years past. And with Philadelphia, and that's why I want to do the two of these together. They both have one thing in common. They can win ugly. And this is a year where you don't have an elite team. None of the teams on this screen right now, none of the top 8, none of these teams are elite. They all have a wart. Every single one of them. The Ravens and the Eagles are deeper than you are. They can deal with an injury. Fletcher Cox goes out, Jordan Davis goes in. Jordan Davis goes out, Milton Williams goes in. I can just keep doing this. And the irony of that, who are the best drafting teams in the NFL? Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. In a year like this, where I don't think anybody has a huge advantage, I'm going to defer to the ones that have guys on the bench that they believe in if something happens. They're deep. They're great. They're my 1 and 2, and I'm not sure that's going to change anytime soon.
Yep. I can see the collision course as well. There's your Week 13 power rankings here in the Sportsocracy. Join us tomorrow back here in the Ingalls studio at noon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, I brought back the chilly weather today, and it is going to be very cold tonight, easily the coldest morning Wednesday morning so far this fall. This is going to feel like the middle of winter. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some high single digits in the normally colder areas, but most of us into the teens. Gusty wind this afternoon. Could gust 40-plus in some spots, high near 40. Tonight mainly clear. 16 officially, sunny tomorrow 50. For the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.